future.
Yeah, that might do it. Or you could do the reverse, sing time after time from Cyndi Lauper and see if time moves forward.
What is happening?
That might be the best option. Let's give it a
Oh my
try.
god, it's becoming sentient.
Sounds good to me. On the count of
It's
three.
becoming sentient.
1, 2, 3, time after time. Did it work?
What the hell? Did you hear about that new restaurant? Man. Got a little flag of football today. It's actually a hand. I mean, I have to reach it. I did something I haven't done in a while, and that was I literally I fell asleep and then woke up. And then I had to lay back on. Basically, I went to bed listening to this. And then like 2 hours later I wake up. Take the headset off. It's right on the floor. Oh no. If this hand gets dangerous, we need to run like bandits.
Oh my gosh,
Hey, Holder.
Larry. Did you hear the news? They're saying that polar bears are beginning to show up in places like Florida.
That's wild. I know a penguin or two that could make themselves right at home then. But seriously, if the polar bear population is increasing, what does that mean for the world around us? It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Oh, they're dealer.
Absolutely. Maybe I should start looking into polar bear proofing my apartment.
6 is
I
pretty
can't have a
dangerous
bear
tile to
rummaging
throw,
around
though.
my fridge in the middle of the night.
Maybe you could hang some warning signs and make sure the bear has a good set of reading glasses.
Well,
That's a great idea.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the future brings.
oh dear. They're waiting on the Dora.
リーチ、ツモ、ドラ。
Still 6,000. I figure we get our Zhong in. Oh, don't forget. You're not in the Discord. This might be something that happens kind of next weekish. I don't know. But we have a poll. And I got peeps. If you've not replied on the poll, and yes, you can vote for more than one. That's not like disallowed. I just want to know what people want to see. And if you aren't in the Discord, there's the Discord. Thanks, bot. Thanks for posting it twice. But this is one of those hands where you just end up with a lot of middle tiles, and like eventually you get rid of these, right? And then it just becomes super dangerous. Like we gotta finish something in this hand before I really like it.
Hey, have you guys heard the new thing they're trying at the golf course? They're actually turning it into a miniature golf course. Can you believe that?
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
What kind of idiot would do that?
Man,
I
Frank
mean,
is becoming a
nobody is going
jerk.
to take it seriously anymore.
Oh, come on, Fred. That's
Or
genius.
Fred, not Fred.
Miniature golf is fun. Plus, the green fees could go way down and more people would be able to enjoy it.
Whoa, slow down there, cackler. We don't know if it's going to work out like you think.
Oh, it'll work out. I got a feeling.
Alright, we'll see. I'm still not convinced.
What do you say we go try it out and decide for ourselves? Larry, you in?
リーチ リーチ
Okay, y'all are nuts.
Wow, what a weird day it's been.
You know, I heard on the news that people have started buying fruitcake for no reason at all.
That's crazy. What could be the reason for that? Maybe if it tastes good enough to eat.
I think I spelled
then
Schism
people just
wrong.
want
It's a
to try it
puzzle
out.
game, and there were 3 of
But why
them. I have,
fruitcake?
I think only the first one
It always seems so dry.
exists.
Maybe it's an old family
easy
recipe
to set
they're
up
trying to pass
situation.
down.
That could be, but for something so strange there must be another explanation.
Wow, we would have had one.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
ロン
Although,
My hand
I'm
is
sure it'll be
worthless.
something highly unexpected.
I'm sure you're right.
リーチ
Who knows what could happen?
ドラ
Well,
Yep,
if
I
it's
spelled
anything like
Schism
today,
wrong. It's with
I'm
a- it's
ready
with
to
a
be
Z.
surprised.
Let me fix this. Alright, fixed. Yeah, Schism has a very good chance. Oh, we got do.
What do you mean you don't like my hairstyle?
I mean, it just isn't my style. You know I prefer the balding look.
Hey, it's not like you can go wrong with either. You look good no matter what.
I don't know about that.
Alundra's great. Alundra
I think
2
bald is a better option. Do
microwave.
you, Larry?
Wait, why is he asking you?
I don't know. Why not?
All right, you two have some kind of secret understanding or something?
No.
Alundra is basically
But,
an adventure
I mean,
puzzle
if you're
game, and the
asking for my
puzzles
opinion.
are
No,
Um,
I'm not.
require
Oh,
thought.
okay.
They're sort of like La Mulana puzzles, but I don't think they're well. I haven't played through the entire game. I had this friend who used to live a few miles from here. Well, they're my friend. They're the one that probably stole my copy of Pokemon Blue.
So I just heard that they're getting rid of the
One
cafeteria
Pokemon
in
Red
their
or
building.
Blue. I'm pretty sure he stole the
Can you
damn
believe
copy
it?
because it had like everything
That's
on
crazy. How are we supposed to eat lunch
Anywho.
now? We should start a food truck so we can keep eating in the same place.
That's a great idea. But what would we call it?
What would we call
How
our
about
food
the
truck?
Soup Nazi truck?
Huh.
What?
That would be hilarious. But I think we should come up with
Self-aware.
something a little less controversial. How about the lunch stop?
That's perfect. Let's do it.
Alrighty, let's make it happen.
You won't regret it.
Hold up. Oh, I promise I'll keep talking about Alundra. This hand. I can't throw the 9.
Did you
I don't
hear the
know.
latest news?
I think I'm really far behind.
Everyone's talking about this new device that can play your favorite music with just a wave of the hand.
That sounds amazing. What do you think it's like?
Well, it looks like a big remote control. But you don't have to push any buttons. All you do is wave your arm in the direction of the speaker.
That's incredible. Can I get one for my apartment? Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure they come in different colors and sizes. Just go online and order one, it's super easy. That sounds great.
いけにゃい
I will definitely be checking that out.
Yeah, it's a really cool invention. You have to get one and try it out.
Absolutely.
Just gonna get third
I'm
for
sure
free
it will
here.
make life a lot easier. And funnier, too.
Yeah, it sure beats having to reach for the remote all the time.
Sure beats that.
ポン
Oh, cool. I don't get a turn. I think I learned why North wins more often than all
What
the
did you
other
do this
sides.
weekend?
If anybody calls in the first round, North is guaranteed to get an extra turn.
I took a road trip to the beach.
So
It
anywho,
was
so
totally
Alundra,
surreal.
How so?
Well, I got a chance to sleep under the stars and wake up to the sound of ocean waves. It made me feel so alive.
That does sound pretty wild.
Yeah, there were other people around too. There was this big campfire and guitars playing all night long.
It sounds almost like a movie.
Yeah, it was something else.
I know, I'm still thinking about it.
yeah, so Alundra, it's an adventure puzzle games kid that I knew a million years ago.
Have you
He,
heard about this new craze for people to paint pictures
so
of cats?
I was introduced
Oh,
to
yeah,
it there,
it's everywhere.
and then
All the cool
through
cats are doing
the online Blockbuster,
You know,
we got
cats
to play it
always land on their feet.
not 20 years ago.
So
And we
what?
only really got through like the first
Are they
dungeon
supposed to paint
at
them
one
upside
point,
down?
so it'll be
That's
fun.
the
I
real
don't know how
challenge.
complicated the game gets, but basically
Huh.
you get presented
know
with a
if they
lot
could
of
do
a
that,
lot of
but
different
it would be
types of
pretty funny
logical
to see them
puzzles,
try.
and like to give you an example, I remember in the first dungeon
Yeah,
there's
it sure would.
there's
Hey,
a
do you think we could
clue
get in
that
on this
says
trend?
like 2 steps forward, 1 step
I mean,
back or
have you
something,
seen
and
the
you have to
prices
figure
these
out how to
paintings
use
are
that in the
fetching?
dungeon to get
We
to
could make some
progress, because there's
serious
no other
money.
way to progress until you solve that puzzle. Um, so game's pretty neat.
I don't know, Fred.
But if you think
I
it's
don't
like
think we have
Zelda,
the
but the
artistic
puzzles are
prowess to
not
pull
just
it off.
hit on doors till something
Let's
happens,
stick
or
with
like
our
it's
day
not like
jobs for
Super
now.
Metroid. It looks more like Lama Lana.
Unless you want to try your hand
Come on,
at
man, I'm gonna
teaching
get chased
cats how to
every
paint.
screwed.
Now that would be something.
I was first, man. Where's my tile? Hmm? Hmm? Hmm. Ooh, and an aura. Little 6K hand there. 52. No, the stick is
Okay,
60.
so where did you two go last night? I was stuck in a meeting and couldn't get out.
Yeah, that and Schism, because
We
I've
went
never
to a
finished
restaurant I
either,
discovered on the way into
are,
town.
are my front
It
runners.
serves this odd cactus soup that you can
So,
only
so
get
what we
once
got on
a
the
year.
poll right now? We got Poker Battle,
Wow,
or
that
Tactics
sounds
Over,
crazy.
Alundra 1,
What did you think of it?
Schism.
Well, let's just say I had to keep a close eye on my wallet the rest of the night. Haha, I guess that's why they call it cactus soup.
Haha.
You guys are ridiculous. Well, let me tell you what happened to me last night. I was in this meeting and they wanted to stay late and I thought, how am I going to get out of this? So, I decided to make a run for it. I pretended to have a stomach ache and bolted out of there.
That was pretty daring of you.
It sure was. So, what did everyone else think? It was definitely a surprise to everyone else in the room. They probably thought you had some kind of superpower. What did they say when you escaped?
Do, 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 do. Four
So
bass
Larry,
notes.
what's the craziest thing you heard about today? Fred, what do you think?
I heard about this guy who ate a dozen donuts in one sitting.
Wow, that does sound crazy.
I know someone that did that. They didn't feel well
Yeah,
after.
that's pretty wild. But I heard something even crazier. My buddy told me he saw a squirrel carrying a suitcase on the subway.
No way! That's so crazy. I mean, what was the suitcase even filled with?
Beats me. I guess we'll never know.
Ha! I guess that'll be one of life's mysteries.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know how they set it up. Like, I don't know. Oh no! Why does it do that? I don't understand. That's what he's supposed to do, the stand-up, and it's just like
I
he's
can't find
dead.
my glasses anywhere. I think I must have left them at the theater last night.
Wow, I never knew you were so forgetful. I could have sworn you said you had an excellent memory.
I do. But I guess I must have dropped them in the dark.
So I don't know if it's
I
four
wonder if
separate
they're still at the
AIs
theater.
and maybe some kind of automaton
That
that's
would be so
directing them,
ironic if you had to go
but
see the
they
same
basically
movie
told
twice
it
just to find
to,
your
like,
glasses.
do
You should check the theater tomorrow
like
and
to
see
make
if they're
jokes. So
there.
one of the ways that you
Or
how do
maybe
you set up a
someone found them
joke? Well,
and
I got a
posted an ad
story. I
online
got a
to
story. I
try
went to
and
the
find
park
their
the other day.
rightful
Oh
owner.
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's definitely worth a shot.
It's just
I'm
that
sure they'll be waiting for me somewhere.
everything that happens in
Here's
AI,
hoping.
like
Good luck.
it's an element of just ultimate
Thanks, I'll need it.
superficiality, and then everything at some point everything just falls completely flat whenever it tries to go into depth on something, because it just can't. It's incapable of doing this at the current the way they currently learn and do things. They can figure out how to tell a joke.
Can you
They
believe
can't
what
figure
just
out how to make
happened?
that joke the best joke ever. They can figure out how to tell a joke. This is a pretty
I
good
mean,
hand, isn't it?
that was
There's a
unexpected.
pretty good upgrade here. If we draw another
No
2,
kidding.
this now becomes
I
SSK.
had no idea that was going to happen.
This is a no Yaku
It
situation, though. We
completely
already have
caught me off
Tudora.
guard.
I don't know how long we want it.
Well, I
Well,
suppose that's what happens when you least expect it.
now we have a
I
problem.
guess it's true what they.
What who says?
Well, you know what they.
Everybody knows what they
Yeah,
say.
we're gonna cut this
but
and go
tell
for
us.
Mungun.
They
Because
say
we can,
nothing
for instance,
ventured,
find a 6 here,
nothing
call the
gained.
6. Sorry, I'm talking over the thing, but
That's the truth.
this
You
hand
have
got
to take
interesting.
risks if you want something to happen.
Exactly.
But I
exactly,
never would
Lily.
have guessed that this was the outcome. Real surprise.
And it's still no Yaku, but at this point, we have to reach it. Like, and now it's Mongon for sure, and I can't go around, like, not able to go out on this hand. And now this guy's throwing 2 Dora, so... This could win the match for us if we win this hand. And the person on our left seems to be making a very cheap hand. I'm not really sure why they're making a cheap hand. I don't really see... Oh no, well, I just deleted them. If there is an Ura here, if there's an Ura, we could actually... Oh, did we just win? Did we just steal first? Nope, we're going to be just short. That's okay. I'm going to take my... I'll take my second place plus 12 rating points. That's right, slam. Like, we lose 50, but we get out of here, match is over, this guy can't play. We're good.
Hey, Fred. Did you hear that new restaurant opened up downtown?
Yeah, that new
It's
restaurant.
supposed to have a great
What
menu.
was this?
Really? I didn't know about that. Do you think it's worth a try?
Absolutely. You know I'm always up for a culinary adventure.
Decoration
We should check it
collector.
out this weekend. Hey, Fred. I heard that there's a new exhibit of modern art downtown. You want to check it out? It's supposed to be really controversial with some pretty wild installations. I'm sure it'll be worth a visit. What do you say?
Absolutely. I'm always up for something different. Let's do it this weekend. Sounds like a plan.
Cool, let's meet up at the museum and check it out. Should be a fun time. And who knows, maybe we'll be the talk of the exhibit.
Wouldn't that be something? Let's make sure we dress for the occasion. Yeah, I was thinking it might be a good idea to wear something flashy. People will definitely notice if we show up in style.
Ha, why not? We should make a statement. See you on Saturday?
I don't want to push this hand too hard because of the Dora. Like if we throw out the 5, there's like no points in this hand. I am dealer though. Maybe I should have cared about that more.
Who knew a summer night could be so cold?
I think I'm going to need a heavy coat, and maybe
But you look
even
at
some mittens.
3
I'm
Rhinemons.
freezing already. I don't think I've ever seen such a cold summer night.
We're
Yeah,
gonna have to
I
cut
guess the weatherman
stuff
got it wrong.
anyways.
Maybe they should have predicted a snowstorm instead.
I think they would have been more accurate.
I really hate doing that, but
So, what are you two going to do with all this cold weather?
I
I'm
think
being
I'm
greedy.
going to
I'm
make
being
a
greedy to
big
not
pot
play
of
a
hot
one-hot
chocolate.
hand.
That should warm us up.
That's probably a bad decision. I
How
probably should
about
just
you
stick to
two?
one-hot hand. Could have been Tenpai. Or could I have been? Would have had a pair. This would be a pair. Yeah, I'd be a Tenpai.
I heard the funniest thing on my way over here today.
What's that?
I was walking through the park and I came across 2 cats having a full-blown argument.
No way.
No way!
What were they arguing about?
What are they arguing about?
I have no idea, but it was pretty heated. I almost expected them to start throwing punches.
That would have been something to see. Did you ever consider that maybe they were having a philosophical debate about the meaning of life or something like that? You never know with cats.
That's true.
You never know
Maybe
with
they were
cats.
trying to decide who had the best sunning spot or something like that.
Maybe they were discussing their favorite type of cat food?
I can only imagine what they were talking about. In any case, it was pretty funny to watch.
Did we just triple Ura? Did we just triple Ura? Oh my god, we triple Ura!
You know what I heard? Apparently, all the street lights in town are going to be replaced with solar-powered ones.
It happens. You don't always have an
That's
on-cow though. You
crazy.
don't always have a
You know what else I
triplet
heard?
to
The
get
mayor
that.
is planning to launch a new bike sharing program in the city.
That's even
Look at this
crazier.
hand.
We'll all be able to get around town in no time. I wonder how much it's going to cost.
Who
Hmm.
knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I guess so.
We could
Maybe
get a
we should
Yaku
start
another
a
way.
petition to make
so
it free.
That's a great idea.
Can't call that though.
Let's do it. I bet Larry would be interested in this too.
We don't want to. We
We
don't
should
want to slow the
definitely
hand
invite
down
him to join us.
unnecessarily.
Yeah,
'Cause
he'd
if you
be
see it,
great
like,
to
we
have
draw
on
an 8.
board. Let's do it.
Kind of there. That doesn't help. That helps. Let's just demote that to a pair.
So Yvonne, I heard you got a new job. So what's it like?
Oh, it's quite something. I actually get to be a researcher for my favorite TV show. So I get to watch all the episodes, and then I have to come up with comedy sketches based on them. It's so
Self-aware.
much fun. Plus, we have free snacks in the office. It's great. Oh, and did I mention that the office is actually a converted warehouse near the river? So it's really unique and quite picturesque.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. Are you enjoying it? I'm sure it's hard work, but it doesn't sound like a bad gig at all.
Yeah, Wayne Newton on the Pro Bowl
Absolutely,
games.
I'm having a blast with it. Being able to tap into my creative side while being surrounded by some of the funniest people in the business really makes it an experience.
Wow, that must be so rewarding. I wish I could experience something like that. Hey, maybe I could do an internship there.
Do-do-do-do.
So did you hear the one about the talking toaster?
No, I haven't. How does it go?
Well, it starts with a man wanting breakfast and asking his toaster for some toast. The toaster responds, sure. But only if you tell me a joke first.
Haha, that's hilarious. What other gadgets talk? I've heard of talking refrigerators and self-driving cars. What else?
Well, I heard of a talking vacuum cleaner the other day. It said, I'm here to help you clean your house, just not today.
Oh man, that is so funny. I heard about a talking shower head a few weeks ago. It said lather, rinse,
Wow.
and repeat until you're squeaky clean.
Haha, that's hysterical. I
Scared
wonder
them
what
to make
other
a non-hand,
appliances could
so
talk.
sucks I didn't win that. But...
You know what would be hilarious? If everyone suddenly started wearing polka-dotted socks.
Wow.
I bet that'd really confuse people.
Yeah, the world would definitely be a more interesting place.
What?
I heard there's a store downtown that only sells polka-dotted socks.
What about if we all wore socks in different colors? That would be even crazier. Can you imagine a street full of people with different colored socks? That would be a sight to behold.
Good one, Larry. That would bring us one step closer to anarchy.
One step
You
closer.
know, maybe anarchy isn't such a bad thing.
I never thought about it that way.
Hey, what if we all had the same colored socks, but with different patterns on them? That would be really wild.
So Larry, did you hear about the new gas station they're opening up? It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I heard about it. They're saying it's gonna have the lowest prices in town. But it's still gonna be a bit of a drive away. I mean, it's great for the people living around there, but it doesn't help us much. I mean, we're gonna have to keep driving a lot further for gas.
That's true, but at least it'll be cheaper.
I guess that is one upside. You know, I've been thinking of getting an electric car. That would really help with the cost of gas and emissions.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Plus, they're really environmentally friendly. I heard there are some good deals out on electric cars these days.
It's really hot outside.
Well, there's their
I mean,
flush.
really hot, like a sauna out there.
So we do
Maybe
not throw
we
any
should
more
start wearing
sozu.
shorts instead of jeans.
I don't think that would help all that much.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So this hand's probably over. I'm not
Hey,
giving him that
I
tile.
know what's really
No
cool.
point.
What? Wait, let me guess. I bet it's ice cream. Am I right?
リーチです
You certainly are.
Perfect. Let's go get some then.
Or the 9. One is actually dangerous here. Hi, Larry.
Hi, y'all. So I was out the other day and saw this crazy guy walking around with a parrot on his shoulder. He was wearing a top hat and had a big old beard, so it was obvious he was up to something suspicious. So I said to him, "What's your deal, buddy?" And you know what he said? He said, "It's National Parrot Day."
I think person on my left's waiting on like 1-4 Manzu.
Ha ha ha.
Toyman
Can you
obviously
believe
waiting
it?
on Sozu.
I mean,
ごめんなさい
sure
ね
enough, When I got home and Googled it, there was actually
It
a
is
National
too...
Parrot Day.
Wow.
It's kind of funny that in this day and age we're celebrating such an obscure holiday.
That idiot
But hey,
ライマン
every
Toyman
day is worth
gave him
celebration
3
if you think about
Oradoras.
it. So here's to the parrots out there. Cheers! Alright, enough of that. So I was at the store the other day and there was this old lady who was having a tough time deciding between 2 brands of cereal. She kept going back and forth for what seemed like hours, so finally I just said to her, why don't you flip a coin? And do you know what she said? She said, nah, I don't have to. I've already made my decision. Ha ha ha. Ain't that something? She had already made her mind up and didn't need a coin flip to tell her what to do. That's the kind of confidence you should have in life. Alright, one last joke. So I was at the bank the other day and they had this big sign that said no food or drinks allowed. And right below it someone had written in, Sharpie except coffee. Ha ha ha. I mean, who does that? But I have to admit, it was pretty funny. So here's to the rebels out there who don't take life too seriously.
リーチ
So, Fred, you hear about the new restaurant on Fifth Avenue that opened up?
What? That fancy Italian place? I heard it's unbelievably expensive.
Well, I hear that for less than the price of a meal there, you get to sit on the same chair as Madonna did.
Wow.
Can you believe that? It's like the hottest spot in town, but I'm not sure it would be worth the expense just to sit on a chair.
I hear it's worth the price just for the bragging rights.
What?
Plus, I've heard people who have gone say they've been served some of the most amazing food they ever had in their lives. Maybe I'll try it out one day.
Don't forget to bring your wallet.
Yeah, that's definitely a must.
Definitely bring your wallet.
いけにゃいドラ猫が
So, Yvonne, what have you been up to lately?
Oh, you know me, just the usual. But last night I decided to do something wild and crazy.
What did you do? Did you ask out a comedian?
No. I decided to order a pizza with extra anchovies, something I've never done before.
That's it?
What? It's an adventure for me.
Well, I'm impressed. I'd never been that daring. I think I'll follow your lead and try something different too.
What are you going to do? Take a chance and try stand-up comedy.
Ha, no, he'd never do that. He barely talks in front of people.
Pon です
Wow. He's just gone again. Why does it keep going to an empty microphone? I don't understand. It's becoming so self-aware.
So, what did you guys
It's
do? for
definitely
weekend?
doing something with chat.
Nothing much, I just stayed in and watched some movies. Yvonne, what did you do?
Yeah, anything exciting?
Oh, I went on the craziest adventure. I went to the museum, then took a stroll through the park, and ended up at this random
I
festival
showed this
downtown.
to my mom. My mom doesn't get it.
There
She
were
says,
all
"It's
sorts
not
of cool
funny." I'm
things
like,
to see and do. It was really wild.
Well,
Wow, sounds like you had an amazing time.
is this
Yeah,
a call?
you really missed out.
Yeah, this is a
Well,
call.
I'm sure you guys had fun too. What did you do?
And look at this setup. 1-9. We just need anything else. Literally anything else.
We just stayed in and watched a few movies.
That's not helpful. I just need to pair anything or draw something in this shape. Yeah, it's actually pretty well put together, to be honest.
You know, I read an article the other day that said coffee actually helps you live longer.
That's surprising, because I heard it was bad for you. Did the article say why it helps you live longer? Because it has antioxidants in it, apparently.
Yeah, just answer
Wow,
your own question.
I never knew that. Yeah, it's pretty amazing what we learn every day. Tell me about it. I bet there are tons of other health benefits linked to coffee that we don't even know yet.
You see this kid just get dealt?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll keep uncovering new
Wow.
benefits as time goes on. I guess it just goes to show that you never really know what'll come up next. That's why it's always important to stay informed and keep learning. You never know what's out there. Absolutely. You never know what you'll discover when you take the time to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's always fun to explore and find new things.
Oh man.
So, Larry, why did you decide to come visit me today? I was feeling lonely and wanted some company.
Well, my schedule was open and I thought it would
This
be
guy's
fun
got
to
Mon
catch
down
up.
across from me already.
Plus,
This
I heard
hand
you have
is
something exciting planned.
not going well.
You did, huh?
Like this is
Well, I'm planning on seeing a movie later today.
Over. We're
It's
very
supposed
far
to be
behind.
really funny. What do you
Try
think?
the 9,
Sounds like a plan.
but like I saw this
I'm
4
in.
cut. Yeah,
Although,
this is...
I think we should get some snacks first. All movies are better with popcorn and soda.
Are they?
Definitely. That sounds like a great idea.
Alright, let's do it! So, what movie did you decide on?
Somebody else deal into him, please. Oh boy. They
Alright,
have to
so
have
I
a
was at the
We're
supermarket
folding.
the other day
Done.
and I saw this guy walking around with a shopping cart that had more kids in it than food. So I asked him, hey, what's going on here? And he says, I'm trying to cut down on grocery spending. I'm like, clearly you're not doing a great job. Oh, and then I saw this other guy walking around with a basket full of nothing but oranges. So I asked him what's going on and he said, I'm trying to get my daily intake of vitamin C. I'm like, dude, you don't need that much vitamin C. So yeah, grocery shopping in this town can be pretty wild. Anyway, I'm sure all of you can relate to that. So what other weird stuff have you seen while you're out shopping?
So what did you get for your birthday?
I got a coupon for a free massage.
Wow, that's awesome. But what did you really want?
Hi, Yogi.
Nothing. I'm happy with my free massage.
Alright, if you say so. So what did your parents get you?
They got me a
Damn.
giant jar of pickles. You know how much I love pickles.
That's hilarious. How are you going to eat all those
They're
pickles?
not dealing. That's fine.
I'm going to have some every day
Yeah,
for
it's
a
not,
month,
not that fine,
and then
actually.
pickle parties with my friends.
Had to take
That
the 10
sounds
pie,
like
though. I mean,
fun.
I'm probably paying 3,000 at the table. So this keeps me in second. That was basically the best person
You
to
should
deal
come
into.
too, Fred. It would be a pickle full time.
How you doing, Yogi? Did you vote in the poll? The poll. Got Alundra,
Hey,
Tactics
everyone.
Ogre, and Schism.
How's everyone
Hi,
doing
Larry.
tonight? So I heard the other day that apparently, if you put Coke and a Mento into a bottle, it becomes an amazing makeshift rocket ship. I mean, I'm not sure who figured that out, but it probably took a lot of trial and error. But I think that's a great way to start this evening off. So what kind of crazy stuff have all of you been up to? I bet it can't be any crazier than what I've been up to. Let me tell you, this past week has been insane. Thanks for being here. Let's have a great night. Cheers!
Cheers!
Now, who here has had a more interesting week than me? Let's hear some stories.
悪いね。
いけにゃい、ドラ猫が。
So, I was walking down the street yesterday and this guy just walks right up to me and asks for a dance. What?
What?
I know, right? That's so out of the blue. That happened to me once too. Some guy asked me if I wanted to go camping with him. Can you believe it?
I know, that's so random. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I just said, no way, and walked away.
Ha ha ha, that is so funny.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience.
A little bit of focus mode here. We got like no Doras left. Like we'd probably reach if we get the Kinfu. Yes. The 5-8 line is pretty beat up, so we don't want to
I
wait on
just
that.
heard the most outrageous rumor at work today.
チー
Really? What is it?
You better
Yeah,
not.
I'm sure it's something good. Don't keep us in suspenders. Tell us the rumor.
All right,
私のド
I
ラを
heard
鳴
that
らした
someone
ら
at the office is getting a
高く
raise,
つく
and
わ
it's
よ。
not me.
Wow, I can't believe it. Who is it?
I know who it is.
残念。
Who?
ツモ
It's the janitor.
ごめんなさいね。
Turns out he has a
Sumo
secret
party.
degree in accounting.
チュン
Guy walks into a bar,
That's
asks for a drink.
ridiculous.
The bartender looks at him confused
What are
and
the
asks
odds
what
of
it's
that?
for. The guy says, "My brother died and I want to pay my respects."
need
The
to find
bartender
out
put
if
2
this is
beers
true
down
or
and said, "I
not.
will help you pay your respects." Doo-doo. Basically just have to
Larry,
get this...
I've got an idea for a new invention. It's something nobody else has thought of yet.
Really? What is it?
It's a combination hat and sunglasses. You put it on and you can see in the sunlight but also keep your head warm. Plus, it looks really cool.
That is a great idea. When are you going to make it?
I was thinking I could make a prototype and see if anyone's interested in buying it. What do you think?
This is an
I
actual
should start
art
now
from
before
Seinfeld.
someone else beats me to it.
Definitely, you should get right on it. Maybe we can collaborate and come up with a few more ideas together.
That sounds like a plan. Let's get to work.
All right, let's do it.
リーチです。
Wow, dude. I have no reason to play this hand, so see ya. I got like 3 tiles to fold, so...
I just got the craziest phone
Now I
call
have
from my
5 tiles
cousin.
to
He was
fold.
asking me if I could help him with his problem. I mean, I don't even know what he was talking about. It sounded pretty suspicious.
Well, what was it?
He said he was stuck in a swamp and no one can get him out.
In a swamp? Wow, that does sound suspicious. I guess he doesn't want anyone to find him then.
Yeah, it was pretty strange. I just don't know what to do now. He's been out there for days and won't answer his phone.
The soaps
You
are
know,
likely safe,
maybe
so
the
probably
best
throw
thing
these
to do would be
first,
to
unless
call
there's a
the
straight up
police and
safe
let them
time.
sort it out. They might have some advice on how to help him. Just make sure you tell them the whole
Two
story,
looks
so
really
they can help
bad.
him in the right way.
All the 2's actually
Yeah,
gone,
that's
so
a
the
good
1
idea.
is actually probably
I'll
quite
do
safe.
that right away. Thanks for the advice, Fred.
But we're not even
I
going to
think
screw
that's
with
the
it.
best way to go.
No problem.
Could easily
I'm
find
sure
ourselves in
everything will work
last
out
here if
for
we
the
were to blow
best.
this. Kamichak could actually use the east. There it is.
Hi everyone.
Hi,
So,
Larry.
have you heard the latest news?
リーチドラ猫
Turns
ドラ
out,
猫
ants
ドラ
can
猫
lift up to 50 times their body weight.
にゃん
That's insane. It makes me feel like I'm not doing enough with my life. On a lighter note, did you know that the average person falls asleep in 7 minutes? I guess
Bullshit.
that explains why my roommates and I are always so tired.
No way.
Anyway, I probably shouldn't be complaining.
Yeah, shoutouts to Ant.
After all, as my mother used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Alright then, let's move on. Have you ever been to the grocery store and seen those little prepackaged salads? I'm always amazed that they can fit all that lettuce in such a tiny container. But I guess that's enough about food, let's talk money. Have you heard the saying, a penny saved is a penny earned? It's true, if you can save money now, it'll be worth so much more down the line. Alright, well that's all for now folks. Thanks for tuning in and have a great night. Larry takes a bow and leaves the stage. Crowd cheers. Wow, thank you.
Why is it becoming so self-aware?
Hey Larry, have you heard the latest news? Apparently, the mayor is going to give everyone in town a free widget on their birthday. Can you believe it? It's unbelievable. Think of all the trouble we could get ourselves into with a free widget.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt. But what do we need a widget for?
What do we need a widget for?
I mean, who wants a widget anyway? Do we even know what a widget is?
So I really can't throw Pinzu tiles
I'm not
anymore.
sure, but I know one thing for sure.
What's that?
Oh wow.
What do you know for sure?
Wow. And my suit is basically pretty much wrecked.
Hey Fred, did you hear the
Reason
news?
we're calling this.
The local carnival is having a special discount all summer long.
Calling that so we don't have to throw a Pinzu tile.
That's amazing. I haven't been to a carnival in years.
Let's hope
What
this
kind of
doesn't.
discounts are they offering?
Well, they're giving a 50% discount on all the rides and games, plus you can get free food with coupon vouchers. It's a pretty good deal.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go.
ボンです
Sounds like too good of a deal to pass up.
Wow.
All I need is a date. Any volunteers?
Wow, you don't waste any time. Well, I'm already
Sand
busy
is
this weekend, but maybe one of the other
poison.
carnival goers can help you out.
And it's actual poison.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I
start.
see how
just,
it
I'm gonna
is.
start just throwing my Sozu
All right
tiles.
then.
Yeah, we're in
Guess I'm
trouble.
going stag.
Jesus.
こいつドラさん
So this is South 4, and we've just been totally screwed. You know, remember how this match started. Keep in mind that no one has 30k.
Hi everyone. How are you all doing tonight?
That's a start.
So, I was out shopping for a new set of golf clubs the other day. You know how expensive those things can be? Well, I happened to find some that were on sale and they said right-handed on them. So I thought, perfect. Most people are right-handed, so that's what I need. Well, I got them home and started trying them out. I noticed my ball wasn't going very far. Turns out the clubs were left-handed. Then it hit me, maybe that's why they were on sale. So, after a few tries I think I'm getting the hang of them. Now if only my golf score were on sale too. Alright, I better wrap it up now. Thanks for listening everyone. Hope you all have a great night. Bye!
Bye!
Waves and exits.
Waves and exits.
Crowd cheers.
Crowd cheers. Goodbye. We take any Ron we can get here. I don't care.
So Larry, I heard you are finally taking
It's
that
a pretty good
Caribbean
hand.
cruise
This should be
you've
40
always
food.
wanted.
No, it's only 30 because
Sure
it's
am.
open.
I'm really excited.
That's so great.
course,
Fred,
it's near
are you
Dora.
jealous?
So that's one is pretty easy to push.
Yeah, Fred,
You
why aren't
count
you
this?
coming with us?
We have to push, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
why
boy.
not? Come on, join us.
We could be like in that old commercial Larry, Fred, and Yvonne on a boat.
Mamma mia, indeed.
What do you say, Fred?
I'm
We
in.
lose. I can't.
But I know what we'll do
It's
once we
literal.
get
Just
there.
it either happens or it doesn't. We did the best we could.
We'll find the biggest, deepest pool on the ship and we can all have a synchronized swimming competition. Cha-cha real smooth.
Still, it's not a feeling.
Hey Larry, did
But
you
I
hear
gotta
about
play
the new
more
fad
tiles.
diet? They say all you have to do is hum, and you'll lose weight.
ちょっ
The one-
That's hilarious. But I don't know. Do humming calories really count?
It seems to have been injected with pop culture.
I don't know, but it's worth a try.
Come on, man. If we lose this. Piss off!
Ha!
3色
Yeah,
同順
I guess
バ
you
ラ
gotta do
バラ
whatever it takes to stay
Oh my
slim.
god, they actually got enough.
But if I hum all day...
Well, you see what
I
happened
need
there.
to say-
This is how we just get screwed. I think we played better than everybody at the table, but that's
I'm
how
sure
that's
it'll
how
be
this
quite a
goes.
あと
spectacle.
麻雀打つのって
I don't
Yeah.
blame them, I'd be amazed too.
And just lose to Hasus.
Yeah,
What can I
I
say?
don't think humming is
Like
gonna be my
what a
next
little
diet
lucky
plan.
prick. I don't understand how people
Better
can.
stick to my
We were
usual
ahead so much. Okay, so what were they
Yeah,
dealt?
I guess we just have to keep doing what we know best.
Oh my god, we just were completely screwed. Do you see this? There's this one that they're not throwing because it's part of 1344. That's like we're just all of the tiles missing. Oh my god, they're all missing.
Hi everyone! So it's that time of year again when my parents come visit for the holidays. Last time I saw them, they said one thing to me and I was like, okay, sure. But then I realized,
They literally
why
got
not
it one
answer
turn.
back with 3 words? No. Not okay.
Damn, lost all this
So,
voting again.
yeah, I'm learning to stick up for myself. Pauses for laughter, it's been a long time coming.
Well, I mean, bad luck is bad
Anyways,
luck. I really
what else
can't
is
do
going
anything
on?
about that.
Oh, I got a new job the other day. It's like I'm getting paid to do nothing. But then again, isn't that all jobs these days? Pauses for laughter, so true. Alright, so I'm sure you all came here for some good laughs, and I'm going to keep this set rolling. So lately I've been thinking a lot about tacos. Like, why are they so delicious? And what is it that makes them so irresistible? Pauses for
Why?
laughter, let's figure it out together.
Like our fourth rate is
Thanks
actually
for
going
having
up
me here
now.
tonight, and I hope you all get to enjoy some delicious tacos soon.
I want some tacos.
Have a great night, everyone.
Have a great night.
Exits
Cheers.
the stage.
Exit the stage.
Waves and smiles to the crowd. Bows down to receive applause.
Bows down. Doo-doo.
How about we take this discussion to the next level? Let's see what kind of hilarious conclusions we can come up with.
Alright, what if we all had to wear the same outfit every day?
That's crazier than eating only cereal for a whole month. We'd look like a
打点を
sitcom.
下げたと
Yeah, and if we all wore the same shoes, every day would
Jesus
feel like a
Christ.
costume party.
宣戦布告ですわ
Or, we could pick a crazy hat to wear every day. That would be sure to get some laughs.
Oh, I love it. We'd be like a real-life cartoon.
Well, now that we're all on board with the idea, let's brainstorm our outfits. Any ideas?
Sucks that this guy's the dealer. Come on, man. Be difficult to play this. Because there's no sevens.
Hey, have you guys heard the news? Larry's getting a new car.
That's great.
New car, Larry.
What kind of car?
A Maserati.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I figured I'd treat myself.
Sounds like a good idea.
I think we
I
play.
wish I could afford something like that.
Hey, if you save up your money, you could get something just as nice. And maybe
I'm
even
happy with
better.
this, but we gotta play.
There you have it, Fred.
What
Now get
Suji's
to work.
left?
Alright,
Are we
alright.
waiting on the same tile?
I guess I'll start saving then. Just remember, Larry, you owe me a ride in that thing.
You got it, Fred.
Oh boy, this is Dangerville.
So, Fred,
I think we have
what
the
have you been
same
up
weight.
to lately?
Yeah, I haven't seen you in forever. I heard you got a new job.
That sounds exciting.
Well, I'm an accountant now. The
ツモで
hours
すわ
aren't great, but the money
What
is
is happening
And
today?
I've been toying with this idea of
ツモ
writing a
い
book.
いペーか
A book?
Hasu's, man. We gotta
What
check
kind
their
of book?
account.
I was thinking of writing a humorous, non-fiction book about the world of accounting.
That sounds like it could be a bestseller.
Accounting sounds like a great subject for comedy. I'd definitely read it.
Yeah, Fred, you should
Flush.
definitely pursue this. You could be the Feinberg of accounting.
Ha, that's not a bad idea.
The Feinberg of
I think you
accounting.
should do it.
Man. Fedora. Oh, it's just an empty living room. Why does this keep happening? Like, is it a crowd reaction thing? Why? I don't get it. That's all you get.
Hi, everyone. So let me ask you, what do pandas eat? Ice cream? No way. They actually eat bamboo. Can you believe that? And you know, I like bamboo too, when it's deep fried and served with a side of ranch dressing. So why can't pandas just get with the program and enjoy it, too?
Lordy.
You know, I bet they'd like it if they just gave it a try. Alright, that's enough pandas, let's talk about something else. What do you think about traffic? It's so frustrating, right? I mean, who knows if you'll make it to work on time even if you leave an hour before your shift starts. And then you have those people who drive way over the speed limit, like they don't care if we all get to where we're going or not. Honestly, I'd be okay with a speed limit of 5 miles an hour if that meant I didn't have to sit in traffic.
Wow. What the hell were the last two things, the last two segments?
Alright,
Wow.
Larry. So what did you do last night?
Ronham.
Well, I met up with an old friend from college. We decided to go to a karaoke place and ended up spending the entire night there. It was really fun. We sang all the classic songs, like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Oh.
And then we found this obscure song no one knew, and it was a hit. I'm telling you, Fred, it was really something
Good.
else.
Destroy him, please. I need my points
sounds
back.
like it. I wish I could have been there. So what happened
What
after
is
that?
this? Look at
Well,
this. Just
after
dial
we
up a
decided to just
Honeymon.
wander around town a bit and talk about
Here I am,
life.
third again. I mean, it's not
Sounds like a
last,
nice
but like I
night.
got screwed last time in
Oh,
South 4.
it was. It really made me appreciate how great life can sometimes be.
Yeah, sometimes it's the small things like that make all the difference. So what happened after that? You know, I was thinking about getting a pet yesterday.
Really? What kind of pet?
Well, I'm not sure yet.
缶ですわ。
A cat?
Open con.
A
And this
cat?
is pretty
Aw,
strong.
that would be so cute. What's stopping you? I guess the main thing is that I'm allergic to cats.
Well, that would stop you. That would stop you.
That's a good point. How about a dog?
Dog? That's a great choice. But, you know, I'm really worried about the mess and fur all over the place.
I've heard that smaller breeds are supposed to be less of a hassle.
That's a good idea. Maybe I should start looking into what kind of small breed would be good for me.
I'm sure you'll find the perfect pup for you.
Dr. Z.
Yeah, that would be great.
Do-do-do-do-do.
So I was out with my friends last night and one of them asked me why I'm single. I told him it's because I'm too picky. He said, "Well, how picky can you be?" I looked at him and said, "I can be so picky that I don't even date myself."
It's dangerous.
Crowd laughs. But
Think, Malcolm.
seriously, why can't I find someone who meets all my criteria? Laughs. Anybody
Oh, boy.
here have any tips for me? Laughs.
Come on, man.
Alright, so then my friend said to me,
So his hand's just over now. I can't throw
crowd
that 5.
laughs.
Wow, I'm just getting screwed today.
And that's when I realized there is no hope. Laughs.
There's no hope.
But seriously,
And
does
match
anyone have
over.
any ideas? Laughs.
座布団。
What is happening, Yogi?
マンガン。
Why am I just not allowed to play? I just lose points every time I play. I should just not play anymore.
勝たせていただきます。
So,
Just keep
have you heard
losing
the new
rating.
fad of putting cream
もう
cheese
一
on
戦いか
pickles?
が？
Cream cheese on
What do you
pickles.
think?
I'm not sure. Sounds like it could be gross.
What?
But at the same time I kind of want to try it.
Lost.
What do you think?
Some down another.
I think it could be
2.
interesting. Let's go grab some pickles and cream cheese and give it a whirl. Who knows, we might just end up with the latest hit snack.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go get some and try it out.
Sounds like a great adventure.
How
Absolutely.
you doing?
Who knows what we'll
Where's Mr.
discover?
Cool?
Yeah,
Oh wow,
let's go.
nice. Good time to retire. Good time to retire.
Hey, maybe we can even get the gang to join in on our snack tasting journey.
Alright, folks, let's have some fun. So, my wife just asked me why I don't do the dishes more often. I said, I'm sorry, dear, but Superman already has that role in our household. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Why did the chicken go to the seance? To get to the other side. What did the left eye say to the right eye? Between you and me, something smells. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Make up everything.
What did the fish say when it hit the wall? Damn!
Damn!
Why did the banana go to the doctor? Because it wasn't peeling very well. Why did the scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding
He's
in his field.
outstanding in his field.
What did the traffic lights say to the car? Don't look, I'm changing.
So, Larry, I heard you got a new job.
Yeah, I'm working at a comedy club now.
Wow, how did you land that gig?
I sent in a video of me performing stand-up. They loved it.
That's great news. I'm sure you'll do well there. Hey Fred, what have you been up to lately?
Yeah, I haven't seen you around in a while.
You know what? Let's roll. Who cares?
What's going on?
Well, I've been taking an improv class.
Improv?
Ooh.
That's so cool.
Cookie.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far.
Cat cola. I know it is, Yogi. It is. It's gonna get nothing. See, that's our luck today. We paid the gods.
You know, I heard they're building a new comedy club down the street.
Really? That sounds like
Out
fun.
of summons.
I wonder if they'll be doing any open mic nights.
I think they will. Maybe we should check it out and see if we can get some material in there. I'm sure it would be a great way to get out of our comfort zone and try something new.
Absolutely.
I just don't like to
It's
have
always good to
the
shake things up a bit.
shop thing.
We could use some new material anyway.
Yeah,
We might
that's
as well
for sure.
skip both of them.
We should do it
I don't
soon.
know why I didn't reset this month.
I'm in.
I'm
Let's make
in.
it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Hey, did you hear they're having a comedy competition at the club?
Really?
Where is
That's great.
donate?
We
Yeah.
should definitely enter and see how we stack up against other comedians.
Absolutely. It'll be a fun challenge, and it'll give us the chance to show off our skills. Let's do it! Let's get started on writing some new material and rehearsing
I'll
our
do one more
routines.
poll. I don't know when this resets, but I just want to make sure I have at least one ticket
So what
left,
did you think of last night's
so that
show?
the game doesn't
It was pretty good, right?
this replaces itself with X200.
Yeah,
My
it was
quests.
great. I especially liked the part when that guy showed up and did his stand-up routine. He was so convincing, even though he didn't actually know what he was talking about. It was like he was living in a completely different world.
You guys, I just heard that the coffee shop across the street is giving away free donuts tomorrow.
Hey, that's great. I could use a dozen donuts after all this work we've been doing lately.
Yeah, I would love to have some donuts too.
Do I get anything?
Maybe we
with
can
my
all
VIP?
get together
Oh, I actually
and go
get
over there
something.
tomorrow afternoon.
All right, let's
Yeah,
get the
sounds
fortune
good to me.
charm.
We could use a break from all the rehearsing. That
what's about
is,
to happen
if you
here?
can promise not to
Okay,
eat them
separate
all
browser.
yourself,
Cool.
Larry.
I promise I'll save some for the rest of you.
I haven't gotten the Jade thing in a million years. Alright, cool. So it's the end of the day. It's already activated. Cool.
Hey Larry, what do you think of my new hairstyle? I'm going for that just woke
But I
up
didn't
look.
realize I was.
It's been a
Where is
real
it?
challenge.
Don't know how to find anything here.
That's
Where's the
quite a
VIP
style you're
shop?
going for there. I think it looks better when you mess up the front a bit.
I unlocked the next VIP. So
You two are
I
talking
get
hair?
more stuff per match now.
I'm the king of bad hairdos. If you want to look like a fool, just come to me.
Cackler, I think that's enough crazy hair talk for one day.
That's enough crazy hair talk.
I hear you, Larry. It's hard enough to style
No,
it right,
it had 2
let
summon
alone
tickets
handle
in
the
it.
judgment.
That's worth. That's
Exactly.
literally worth like
I'm sure your
the
hair
price
looks
of
great,
the
Yvonne.
fortune thing.
All
But
it
I've been
needs
playing
is a
lately, so
tiny
like
tweak
if it
here,
means
and
I
then
get
you
more
the
gifts and
perfect
stuff
look.
too,
As long as it's not my look,
it
we're
doesn't
good.
require that many games a month to
All
just
right,
get your 5
Cackler,
free
that's
summons
enough.
on top of the thing.
All right, no need to get testy.
Because I don't buy Jade, so I just haven't renewed it in a while.
But seriously,
What
I
is
think
this?
it looks great, Yvonne. You don't need any styling advice from me.
Sounds really bad. Yeah, the charm is the best deal, and it supports the game. Not, even though it's pretty gacha. But that's the first time I've
everyone,
rolled in like
I'm
a year.
Larry. So before we start tonight's show, I just have to say, what the heck is going on with our economy these days?
What the heck?
Prices keep climbing and wages stay stagnant. But
This
don't
is
worry,
very
folks.
greedy what I'm doing. I'm
At
just
least
trying to
we
force
still
a
have
flush because the
Netflix
hand's
and
really
chill.
bad.
But seriously, I think it's about time the government and businesses did something for us regular folks too. We work hard enough.
Not south.
Like, how about a raise? Am I right?
Am I right?
And speaking of money, I just got a new job and it pays pretty well. Only catch is that I have to wear a suit every day. It's hard enough getting up in the morning without having to worry about looking like an extra from The Wolf of Wall Street. Thanks for listening, everyone. Alright, that's all for now. Let's have some fun. So, what did the pirate say when he turned 80? I'm matey. Knock, knock. Who's there?
Who's there?
Boo! Boo-hoo. Don't cry, it's only a joke. Alright, I've got another one. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Cookie's right. This is terrible for productivity.
So you're saying I have to get up early tomorrow? That's the last thing I need right now. I was just getting into a groove with my late night routine and now this.
I guess
Hey,
we cut the
what can I
5.
say? It might rain tomorrow, and you know how my allergies act up when it does. So if you want to be prepared, it's better to get up early and enjoy the fresh morning air.
Come on, man.
Besides, it could be fun to try something different for a change.
I know your reach is garbage,
You
though,
never
unless
know.
you flip
It might make you
Oros.
feel
I know it's
better in the long
garbage.
run.
So I kind of... If I get
What
Tempai,
do
I
you
have
say?
to push. No,
I suppose
dude.
it won't kill me to try
Dude.
something different.
Watch it lose.
So it turns out my neighbor actually owns a
What
pet
is
alligator.
happening?
What? That's
Okay.
crazy.
Bye-bye. We're done here.
I know, right?
Kill each other.
How did you find out?
リーチ、ニャンプ、パンニャオ、ドラネ
He
コ。
was showing it off to some people outside his house the other day. And you know what was even more surprising?
What? He was taking it for a walk on a leash. That's wild.
Unbelievable. How does he even
Yeah.
get it to behave like that?
Just, wow.
I don't know, but it's
I don't know, I
definitely
think
a
I'm playing well.
conversation starter.
There's been some bad beats this week, and if we didn't have those bad beats, we would basically be even. So like I don't know. You can't let it tilt you, right? You really can't let it tilt you. Like what is happening more often now is we are winning more matches. So you just focus on your game. Get frustrated, but just don't let it get to you. But the reason we had to pay the O-Star gods to make sure that we weren't on the bottom of bad luck anymore. We had to change it. The Teemo strategy. We got to do a pool when we're losing bad. Make sure that I'm really interested in these Pro Bowl games. Might take a quick coffee break after this round. I don't know when the heck I think they're starting at 3? Question mark? I don't know. But they're doing so they replaced the Pro Bowl with actually something kind of cool. Flag football. So earlier today they actually had the national championship game televised. They didn't really tell anyone it was going to be televised, or at least I wasn't aware. Oh boy. 5 actually goes. What is this call, by the way?
Hey
1, 2, 3
guys,
call.
guess what I heard? The local art gallery is having an exhibit of paintings made entirely out of dried pasta.
No way.
Way.
Do they have samples we can try? Perhaps we can even create our own.
That's a great idea.
Nature never tasted so good.
We need
Let's head
5.
over there and see what we can make. Who knows, maybe our masterpieces will be on display.
Very tempted to call this. Where's my pair? No, I can't call this. Where's my pair? Doo-doo. Actually, I already had a pair. But the pair is the 2. I don't know, this hand is tough. Because I don't want to lose this paired Dora, right? But there's no 1s left. There's 1 left.
Hey,
And
did
I
you
don't know
guys
if I'm
hear
going to
about
see
the
a
new place
5.
down the street?
Yeah, I heard they have the best burgers in town.
How am I doing against Twin?
Man, I wish we could go get some now. Hey, you know what would be even better?
What?
If we all went camping this weekend and stopped there on the way,
Bump this
we
pair.
could get those burgers and
Oh, it's
start
not
our
a
adventure
wrong.
off right.
That's a great idea. Let's do it.
All right, deal.
Doesn't need a 4S.
Ra,
There it
正
is.
義の裁きを受けよ
Wow, I can't believe that
ド
happened.
ラドラに
Who knew that the
Murder-
raccoon would
murder
be so
at the table.
uncooperative?
I know, right? I'm surprised it got so complicated.
The thing is, you have to be prepared for anything in the wild.
That's true. Hey, did you hear about the new cafe that opened up down the street?
Yeah, I hear their coffee is really good. We should all check it out.
Absolutely. I'm game.
Sounds like a plan. I could use a good cup of coffee.
Let's do
use
it.
some coffee. I'm gonna make some after this.
Yeah, I could use a pick-me-up.
I could use a pick me up.
ポンですよ
So I was walking down the street the other day and saw this rat just scurrying away. I thought, man, that's a brave rat.
Brave? What's brave about it?
It was walking right past a cat.
Well, that's a risky move, I'll give it that.
I'm telling you, that rat was the bravest thing I've ever seen.
Braver than you standing up to your boss and quitting your job?
Potential
I bet that
50
cat
50
was shaking
pin.
in its
Well,
whiskers.
1/3 Pinfuger.
Yeah, I think I was shaking more than the cat.
I don't know, you were pretty determined to make a stand. Guess that rat learned a
Potential
lesson
for
from
an
you.
upgrade, but they've started the first. I guess they're playing 3 flag games, and I think they have a competition or already did a competition at other games. Wow, those dudes are fast.
So I heard today was National Redhead Day. Don't worry if you missed it, though. You know why? Because it's every day. Why does everyone think it's so weird to be a redhead? I mean, we all know that gingers have no souls. But at least we don't have high blood pressure.
What?
And you know what else? I used to hate that people said redheads were crazy. But then I found out it's true.
What the shit? Wow, that's a good, that
And
was a good
speaking of
pull.
crazy, you know I can't resist a blonde joke. So hear it.
Yes! Yes! But of course I don't get Mangan. It better be. It's gotta be Pots. And I have a Dora, yeah. It should be 11-6. Yeah. Let's go. Do. What was those terrible ginger jokes?
So, Larry,
That was
what did you
mean.
get up to this weekend?
Yeah, thanks to the...
I went a bit wild and decided to
emote
try
hoodoo?
bungee jumping.
You did what? That's so out of character for you.
Well, I figured, why not? Life's too short to stay in one spot, right? Besides, the adrenaline rush was quite
Dora.
exhilarating.
Whoa, I'm impressed. You'll have to tell me the whole story later. I'm guessing you didn't manage to get me to come with you, huh? You know, I'm sure bungee jumping would make for an interesting experience. Maybe I could give it a try sometime too.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to take you sometime. Just make sure to wear a helmet, okay?
These guys are good. I'm watching the Pro Bowl thing too.
Hey Larry, did you hear about the new restaurant that opened up downtown?
Yeah, I heard it's supposed to be really good.
I heard it's owned by aliens.
Aliens. Alien art again.
Seriously?
Actually, I heard it's owned by a family of raccoons. Who knows what kind of food they serve? Probably something unexpected like trash can nachos.
Trash can nachos?
I bet it's gonna be a hit.
That sounds like a hit to me.
Yeah, I'm sure if raccoons can make it work, anyone can. We should go check it out soon.
Definitely. Let's make a reservation tonight and investigate this mystery raccoon restaurant.
I remember this screen from old when we had cable a million years ago. I remember this program guide. Very nostalgic. Uh-oh. On the tile I needed. Well, we're about to get paid. Watch this. Someone's gonna throw an 8. Thinking it's safe. Oh, so much for that. Sath Dresh? Someone I need to follow. Just dial up your own honeyman. Wow. I'm not allowed to win a match. This kid. What is this kid doing? Another touchdown. This Pro Bowl game is going to be good.
Did you hear about the new store that opened up in town? Yeah,
Cool.
I did. It's supposed to have all sorts of strange and unusual items that you can't find anywhere else. Wow, I can't wait to check it out. Me neither. I mean, who knows what kind of cool stuff
Just
we'll
a lot
find
of
there.
lost value, if I were to call that.
Maybe we'll find
This
a
kid
box of
called
old comic
789,
books.
so...
Or a jar of pickles that's been sitting in the sun for decades. Heck, maybe we'll even find a lost Egyptian mummy. That would certainly be an unexpected surprise.
Indeed it would. We should definitely pay a visit and see what this new store has in store for us. Agreed. Let's check it out this weekend, just to see what kind of wonders await us in adventure.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
So what's going on with you? Anything new and exciting?
We need something else
Actually,
to pair, or we're
yes.
going to end up cutting these.
I heard about this new stand-up comedy club that's opening up in
Oh.
town. It's an open mic night, so anyone can come and try out their best material. I'm thinking of trying it out.
That's great. I think it could be a lot of fun.
リーチです
It's
Uh-oh.
always a good idea to have something new and different to do. Plus, it'll be a great way for us to test out some of our own material and see if we can get any laughs.
There's our pair. I don't know if I
I
want to play
agree.
this game. They're almost
Who
certainly
knows?
waiting on
Maybe we could
Pinzu.
even start up a comedy duo
So I'm
and
not
become
giving
the
this
next
kid the
big thing.
six. It's way too close to the Dora.
That would be amazing.
We just
let's
shut
give
this
it a
down.
try
Let's
and see what
demote this to a
happens.
pair.
Sounds like a plan.
But I think we're just shutting this
Who
hand
knows?
down.
Maybe someday we'll be playing to sold-out crowds.
Yeah, just I'm out of here. This could be a Raimon cut too, like Raimon pair cut 677. I just think that's unlikely. Just how do you get everything perfect in Pinzu, right? And Pinzu is incredibly expensive on the board.
So, I was on a first date the other day and things were going great until it came time to order food. The waitress asked my date what she wanted, and without missing a beat she said, "I'll have the silent special." Well, naturally everyone at the table just went silent. Eventually we all burst out laughing, but you know that's when it occurred to me that it's been a while since I've heard her say anything else. So, I'm out with my friends last night and we're talking about the newest superhero movies. We all agree that Iron Man is the best one so far, but then someone turns to me and asks what superpower I have. Without missing a beat I said, I'd have the power to turn any conversation awkward in 3 seconds or less. Of course, everyone at the table just went silent again. Haha. Alright, so one last story. I had just gone and seen a scary movie with my friends. As we were walking out of the theater, one of my buddies asked me what scared me the most in the movie. I thought about it for a moment and said, the fact that you actually pay money to watch this thing. Needless to say, everyone around us cracked up. That was definitely worth it. Thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed my set. So, I heard you took up cooking as a hobby?
Yup, I'm trying out a new recipe this weekend.
What kind of recipe?
It's a secret recipe. Why don't you come over and find out? I just bought all the ingredients, so it should be a blast to make.
I'm so there. What time should I come over?
Let's say around 5 p.m. Can't wait to show you what I'm cooking up.
Sounds great. I'll be there. I'm sure it's going to be delicious.
Oh, yeah, it'll be the best you've ever had.
His hand is really bad. That's why we passed that. About chasing a one-hot hand with literally no access. I mean, this is the best that I've
So,
loose
did you
access
hear
to
about the
Toritama.
upcoming comedy
It's really
festival?
bad. I have two.
I'm thinking about signing up to perform. How about you?
Actually, I was thinking about performing this year too.
That's great. We could work on a bit together.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm sure we'll come up with something hilarious.
落ち着くのだ。
I'm getting
マジックで
excited
ドラ
just
を知り
thinking
た
about
める
it.
のはイカ様
Me
だ。
too.
絶対や
I
っちゃ
can't
ダメ
wait
だ
to see what
ぞ。
kind of jokes we come up with.
He shouted. And this guy's
It's gonna
cutting
be
Dora.
amazing. We'll have
So
everyone
if
in
we're first, I
stitches.
probably reach this. 1/3 chance that we get a Pinfu. Well, it can't be Pinfu because we got the Wests. If this were to pair, I'd probably cut the West. It's doubtful it'll pair though. Honestly, should have cut the 9 first? Question mark? No, 9 saved it. I think it's not a huge difference. It's just an empty. It's just empty. Well, no, he's in the back, just staring at the microwave.
チー
I don't understand why they get blank scenes. Like, is it one of their tools? Is like,
悪いね。
because I've used the chat
リーチが
API thing before, and sort of like with Dolly, the image thing, if it'll like just air out randomly.
I thought about it for a second and then I told him, just stand in the middle of the street and wait for all four corners to turn green. The look on his face was priceless. So I start walking away and then he yells after me, "Hey, what about the traffic?" I just shrugged my shoulders and said, "What traffic?" Everyone can relate to that, right? At least here in New York City. Alright, I think that's it for now. Thanks for having me.
Come.
You know, I'm starting to think that we need to switch up our routines. I've heard a lot of people talking and I think they're getting
No,
bored with
that's
us.
terrible.
I heard one guy say, "I'm tired of listening to the same jokes every night."
Don't make me wait, asshole.
Why
Don't
don't we
do
try
that.
some new
リー
places?
チ、ドラ猫、
We
ド
can
ラ
go to
猫。
different bars and
This
see if
thing's
they have a
cheap.
better audience.
Isn't that cheap, but
That's not a bad idea. We
I
can see
love
if
getting.
different
I
crowds
love
respond
being in
differently
that
to our jokes.
situation. Just screwed. It wasn't a good wait, but the problem is like I
Yeah,
can't.
and we can mix
There was
up
no
our
other way to
material
reshape
too.
that hand anymore. That was
Let's
it.
write some fresh jokes and see how people like them.
Hmm.
We can also bring in some props and do physical comedy. That
Man,
always gets a good
You
response.
can't win.
With a little hard work and some creativity, we can improve our act and keep people entertained.
Sounds great. Let's start planning
But
our
it
new
worked for the
act.
game situation. That
It's
con
time
was
to take
scary.
our
That con
comedy
could
to
have
the
made it
next
really
level.
bad. But if we won that hand, we could have been first
Alright,
place.
first let's make a list of places we can try out.
Great idea. We can start with the places we know and then branch out. We can also ask our friends for suggestions. I'm sure they'll have plenty of ideas to help us out. That's settled then. Let's get to work.
Oh.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming out tonight. I'm so excited to be here performing for you all. So my friend told me the other day, he said to me, I don't think I can eat another taco. To which I replied, nobody can eat just one.
Okay.
So, I was out at the mall last week, looking for a new shirt. I asked this lady in the store if they had any shirts with cats on them. She said to me, no, we only have dogs. I said back to, I guess cats don't shop here. Anyways, have any of you been on a diet recently? I tried one for about a week, but then I realized that diets are like magnets, they only work if you keep them apart. Alright, thanks for listening.
ちーです
Have a great night, everyone. Asterisk applause asterisk.
You gotta be careful
You're
with this
too
dealer.
Alright, last one. So I went to the bank yesterday, and when I approached the counter, the teller asked for my ID. So I opened up my wallet, but instead of finding my license, all I found was an old receipt from a fast food place.
ビ
I
ーチ
said
が
to the teller, I guess I should have paid with cash.
Hey guys, you won't believe who I just ran into at the deli.
Who? Wait, let me guess. Oldman.
No way.
I have a feeling it
Wow.
was someone we know.
Oh, boy.
What if I told you it was Frank Kestopoulos?
No way. He never comes around here.
Sure
Frank's
enough,
not-
it was old Frank. He said he's been traveling around the world and wanted to get a taste of his hometown. I think he's changed a bit since the last time we saw him.
Just ignoring Frank. Like, what are we doing?
How so?
Wow, this hand's getting
He had a
pretty.
giant beard and was wearing some kind of robe.
I think their weight is in the door. Well, that helps. At this point, I surely have their tile in my hand.
最後のチャンスだ
It's gonna be the 7. I
逃しちゃ
think
ダ
I'm
メ
just
だ
not
ぞ
playing this hand. Oh, I can go.
Hey, do you guys think this place has a dress code?
I'd
Why
have
would
to
you
throw
ask that?
something in this mess to get Tempai,
Yeah,
so
why would you
we're
even
kind of
care?
just screwed.
Maybe she wants to dress up for a special
I could call
occasion.
this and bring it around. I have enough tiles.
You know, I just thought it might be fun to get dressed up and make it a special night. But I don't want to stand out if everyone else is dressed casually.
It doesn't really help me, but it forces people
So what
to
do
have
you
to throw more.
suggest?
How about we all wear something that stands out but still fits in?
Like what?
I know. Let's wear something that makes us look like we're part of a trio. That way, we can make a statement without looking too over the top.
We'll just pass on this, because I have to throw 2 tiles if I were to call. But almost assuredly, like, I think their weight is like 4-7 Manzu or something.
I heard my cousin is coming to town.
Oh,
脳
God.
天だわ
Is he as weird as you
Oh,
are?
4 was bad, too. Our hand was completely screwed. Completely screwed.
What do you mean?
She means the two of you could form a secret society.
Yeah,
What is
that'd be
this?
hilarious.
Or, you could do something even crazier like start a pranking competition.
Really bad.
Pranking competition.
Really bad hand.
That sounds amazing.
And, of course, nobody could ever know about it. It'll be our little secret.
Fourth
Can't
is,
wait to
is
see how
getting
crazy
within
it
our
gets.
grasp.
Me neither. Let's do it.
Let's make it official. Who else can we get in on the action?
We'll have to find someone who's as wild and crazy as us.
All right, you two are in charge of that.
ちー
ドラちゃん悪いね
So I just heard a real wild story about my neighbor Kenny.
Oh yeah, what was it?
Is it something I can use as one of my schemes?
I'm not sure about
打
that.
点を下げたと
He said he bought a guinea pig,
大
and when it
間違いですわ
arrived, it was actually a
これ
ferret.
は宣戦布
No
告です
way.
わ
That's crazy.
Yeah. He was so surprised, he just decided to keep it anyway.
I guess he figured it's still an animal, right?
Well, I guess that's one way to roll with the punches. Hey, at least it was an upgrade.
Yeah, I suppose that's true too.
I guess it's not so bad to turn a surprise into an unexpected opportunity.
I figured it was possible, but it's like a two-hunt hand, right?
タイヤをドラ
I had to keep playing, otherwise I'm going to pay these people more. So we need a hand here. We need a big hand here. This is not a big hand. This is piss. Wow. Definitely going to get up and make coffee after this. I'll leave this thing up. But it's probably going to be an extended break. So I have to make sure the coffee pot is terrible. Oh. What am I even looking for here? I don't even know. I mean, I don't want to throw away a penchant over a once thrown honor. Oh, nice. Oh, dude.
Have you guys heard the news?
No, what's going on? I hope it's something funny.
Dude flat tackled him going out of bounds. And there's
What
a
kind of
flag
news?
down.
Yeah, what's up?
Because he just full force took the guy out. It's flag
Does it
football.
have
You
anything to
can't
do
you
with
can't
me?
two-hand block the
Well,
guy
it
out of
does in a way.
bounds.
There's a new trend going
Oh,
around
he
called
actually
clogging.
didn't mean to do that,
What is
really.
clogging?
It's a new way of exercising where you go on a jog and pick up any litter you see along the way.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Who would do that?
Who would do that?
A lot of people. Plus, it's a great way to help the environment.
Global warming arc. That was it.
So my wife and I went to the beach, and she said she wanted a drink. So I asked her what kind of drink did she want. She said anything but a strawberry daiquiri. So, I got her an apple juice with some salt in it. I got a new car the other day and my wife said that's nice. Now can you afford to put gas in it? I thought long and hard and then finally realized, no. Ever been to an Italian restaurant and the waiter is like, you want something to drink? And you're like, yes. So then they ask, what do you want? Pizza. So the other day, I was at the grocery store and I saw a woman buying some apples. She asked me what kind of apples she should get. So I said, how about Granny
God
Smith?
bless him.
And she
We're just
said,
gonna
"How
get
about you
screwed
mind
again.
your own
I
business?"
mean, you see what's happening.
I heard
Last
there's
place
a new
just
self-help
reached.
book out called
This
How
guy
to Be
just
Alone.
reached. Can one deal into
I'm
the
like,
other and at least
that
get
was
me
already
not
written.
in a last place
It's
scenario?
called my cell phone.
計算どう
Last night, I went to a
It's just
Mexican
piss.
restaurant and the
This
waiter
is
asked me what I
bullshit.
wanted.
Oh my god.
So, I said tacos.
This shit's rigged,
He
man.
says, what kind? And I said, surprise me. So he brought out an enchilada.
It's impossible.
daughter came
This
up
is
to me the other
literally
day and
impossible.
said,
So now we have to
"Dad,
do what all
can I
these
borrow
other
some money?"
idiots are doing.
I said, sure.
We have to
It's time
somehow
start thinking
find
about getting a job.
Mangan in this
She
final
looked at me
hand.
and said, what? Do you think I'm made of money?
Wow.
So I decided to give my friend a surprise. And
So
knock
we're going to
on
be
his
back
door in the
to
middle of the
par
night.
score. And
He
it's
opened it up
literally
and said,
nothing I could have been
"What are you
doing. I could have
doing
done nothing about this.
And I said,
We got
"Surprise."
screwed this entire match.
He closed the door. My doctor told me to watch.
Where
my
the hell am I?
drinking,
I guess
so
I
I'm
should have
waiting
kept that
until it's
9.
time to go out.
I don't even know. I don't know where I'm getting the points from for this.
I was out for dinner the other night, and
Nothing
the waiter
here.
asked, "Do you want anything to drink?" I
Oh,
said,
cool.
"How about surprise me?" He brought out a sippy cup.
I don't even know. I don't even know. SSK? Like,
You know,
I don't
I
even
saw
know.
this really attractive woman at the grocery store today.
You winning a fast hand off of
Oh, did
somebody
you?
might help.
Yeah, she was
Like, I
so
need to get a
beautiful.
better hand than this.
I just had to follow her around the store and make sure I didn't miss out on any good
Oh
deals.
my.
So, did you get any good deals?
This is a food.
I'm sure you must have.
We open con this and just hope we get something?
Actually, no. I think she noticed me and sped up her shopping. She was out of the store before I could even check out.
I
But
don't know
it was
why the
worth it
mahjong
for the
is so
entertainment value.
bad.
What about you? Did you get any good deals today?
Wow.
When I went to the grocery store, I found some amazing deals on fruits and vegetables. I ended up saving quite a bit of money. I also got a great deal on some ice cream, so that was a bonus.
There's Toy Toy. Toy Toy plus 1. That's not enough either. I'd have to hit the dealer with it. Maybe the Toy Toy Dream is something? I guess we could have been waiting on a Dora tile still. Like, that Dora is not lost on me, but it's connected to nothing. It's too slow.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
I mean, someone's gonna make a 1K hand
Alright,
and we just
so,
lose. Like,
I
there's
was walking
just
down the
nothing
street
here.
the other day, and this guy stops me, and he's like, "Hey buddy, can you help me out?"
Them winning
And
a
I'm
fast
like,
one
"What
is
do you need?"
useful.
He's like, "I
It's a
got a
better
flat
hand,
tire."
maybe.
So I said, "No problem, I'll help you out." So I get the tire off, and you know what I see? A big rattlesnake in there.
Rattlesnake.
So I'm like, "Whoa,
Whoa,
buddy, why didn't you
buddy.
tell me?" And he says, "Well, I thought you knew." So yeah, you never know what you're gonna find on the street these days. Alright, that's all I got for now. Thanks for listening.
Okay.
How about
If I
some
find this
applause for the folks in the back?
5 double Dora gets us in this.
Alright, let's hear it. Clapping. Thanks, appreciate it.
I just went to the doctor,
I'm gonna
and they
make
said
some
my
coffee.
cholesterol
And
was through the
this
roof.
game can just suck it.
You should lay off the donuts.
So we got Hanimandan Dealer,
Yeah, no more
Hanimandan
pork rinds
Dealer, won a big
But
hand,
how can you resist that bacon?
never dealt in, and we
You're
still
right.
lose.
Moderation is key.
Moderation is for
Like,
cowards.
these kids, I
like
swear,
that.
like, they're cheating. Like, I don't even
In moderation,
understand.
of course.
Now you're talking.
We made a Manganan Dealer, paid out. This guy just dealt up like a
What if we
3-turn
started a new
Haniman.
religious movement, moderationism?
I dealt in here.
Now
Was
that's
this
hilarious.
deal in was on a chase, right? We
I'm all
reached.
for it, as
So
long
that's the
as we're
cost of doing
practicing what
business.
we
I
preach.
can't not play that. And in the end, it wouldn't have even mattered. Had we not dealt into that, it still doesn't matter. Because this guy would have had the final deal, and they could have still just stole it in the end. I don't know. Maybe we start playing East Round
So,
again.
how did your date go
We're
last
really
night?
good at East. And I was
You
trying
said it was
to
a blind
learn,
date, right?
but just there's so many Haniman
Yeah, I
sumos
thought it
in
went
this
okay.
game.
We
You
had
know,
some good
Kings, man,
laughs,
like
and she seemed to have a good
somehow
time
these
too.
people that dealt in for Mangan multiple times get bailed out. Like this kid.
What was her name?
Like, what is this bullshit? Like, look at this hand.
Come on, I'm sure you remember.
Look at this hand.
You must have
Okay,
at least
so
asked
this
her for
is
her
this
name,
is the kind
right?
of luck that I'm dealing with. All right, I'm gonna
Oh
make
yeah,
some coffee,
of course.
and we're back.
Her name was Emily.
Emily, you say?
Yeah, Emily. She was nice enough, I guess, but we'll see how it goes from here. We exchanged numbers, so I guess we'll see what happens. Anyway, something tells me you're not here to just chat about my date. Why don't you tell me what's up?
Hey everyone! What a great night to be here in this fabulous club. Thanks for coming out tonight. So, I've been thinking a lot lately about everyday life and those unexpected surprises that make it so interesting. You know, like when you discover the new low-fat ice cream your family loves. Or when your boss brings cupcakes to work on someone's birthday. Anyway, I just want you to know that even though life can be unpredictable, there's always something to laugh about. So let's take a moment and appreciate all the surprises life brings our way. Cheers! Alright, now on to some jokes. Why did the chicken go to the seance? To get to the other side. What did the fish say when it hit the wall? Damn! Why don't eggs tell jokes? Because they'd crack each other up. What did the vampire bring to the potluck dinner? His coffin. Haha, I hope you all enjoyed that. Thanks again for coming out tonight. Hope you all have a great night. See you soon.
Hey, Yvonne. Have you seen Larry lately? He said he was headed to the store, but that was 2 hours ago.
Well, I don't know about the store, but I did see him hanging around outside of a nearby theater.
I was outside the theater. What were you doing there?
I was out walking and noticed you there. You looked like you were up to something fishy.
Fishy? What made you think that?
You were looking around suspiciously and had a large bag with you. I thought maybe you were up to some kind of mischief.
Whatever it was, I hope he didn't get into any trouble.
No trouble here, but I must admit that I did get some pretty good tickets to the new movie at a great price. Come join us and we can all enjoy the show. Hey Yvonne, did you hear about the new sandwich shop that opened up down the street?
Nah, I didn't. Is it any good?
It's supposed to be amazing. The customer reviews say the sandwiches are fresh, delicious, and outrageously priced. I was thinking of going there for lunch today. Wanna come?
Sure. Sounds like an adventure. I can't wait to try it out and see if the food lives up to the hype. Maybe we can see if they give out samples or something. I'm down to try it if you are. Plus, the surprise of what kind of sandwich would be good for a laugh. Let's go.
Okay, let's go check it out. I'm sure either way it'll be an interesting experience.
Hey Larry, did you hear the news?
What news?
Not sure. What news are you talking about, Fred? What you got?
Apparently, the mayor just announced that tomorrow is going to be a reverse holiday where everyone has to work due to an extreme citywide shortage of workers. Can you believe it?
Wow, I have never heard of something like that before.
I know. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how this will affect our plans for the day.
Well, I guess we better start looking for a job. Maybe the mayor can help us out.
Hey, did you hear the one about the alien that accidentally landed in a kitchen? Fred, you won't believe what happened. So the alien walks in, takes a look around, and says, "Take me to your leader."
That's hilarious. How did the homeowner react?
He said, "You're standing in my kitchen, I'm the leader here." Ha ha! Can you believe it? Anyway, did you hear about the guy who won the lottery with a single ticket?
That's incredible. What did he do with his winnings? Did he go on a spending spree? Or did he invest his money for the future? Maybe he gave some money away to charity.
So I went to the bank the other day, and they asked me what my name was, so I said it was Fred. The banker looks at me and says, "Are you sure?" And I say, "Yeah, that's what my mom calls me." So then he says, "No, what's your real name?" So I told them my real name, and they looked at me like I had 3 heads. But then the manager comes in and he tells them it's okay, because I'm just messing with them. That's why I like going to the bank. You never know what kind of trouble you can get into. Anyways, have you ever been to a party where it's just so boring that everyone just stands around with their phones in one hand and a drink in the other? Yeah, me too. So I tell people to break the ice by doing an impromptu stand-up set. Believe it or not, that usually works. So if you're ever stuck in an awkward situation and don't know what to do, just break out some jokes. It's always a great way to get the conversation rolling and make everyone laugh. Oh, and don't forget to tip your waitstaff. Alright, that's it for tonight. Thanks everyone for coming out. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great night. Bye! Applause.
So, how was your weekend?
It was great. I went to the beach and had a whole lot of fun. But then, when I got home, my cat started meowing at me in this weird way.
That sounds pretty strange.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. I think he wanted me to do something. So, what did you do over the weekend?
Oh, I went out to dinner with some friends. We played a game and had a lot of laughs. But then one of them spilled their drink all over the tablecloth, and we all started laughing even harder. What's the craziest thing that's happened to you recently? Well, last week I dropped my phone into an aquarium. And when I went to try and get it out, a fish started swimming away with it in its mouth. Luckily, I was able to snatch it back in time.
That's hilarious. I'm definitely going to have to remember that one. Hey Yvonne, did you hear about the new sushi place around the corner?
No, I didn't. Does it have all the raw fish they normally put in that stuff?
No, it's a vegan sushi place. They use all kinds of vegetables and grains for the rolls.
Wow. That sounds really interesting. I'm pretty sure I've never heard of that before. What do you think about trying it out? I'm game. Sounds like a new experience.
Great, let's go check it out this weekend. Alright, it's a date.
Don't get too excited, you know it's just sushi. Sure, it's just sushi. But who knows how new and interesting this experience could be?
Maybe we should make a bet to see who can guess the ingredients in the most rolls correctly.
You're on.
It's a sushi showdown.
So Fred, how did you get that new job?
Well, it turns out my friend Frank from high school was the boss.
Wow, that's pretty convenient.
I know, I couldn't believe it either.
Oh my gosh, I hope you thanked him. Wait, if you got the job from him, what did I do wrong?
Nothing, you did great. Frank said he was impressed with your resume.
That's a
Oh.
relief.
My goodness,
Well,
entangled.
at least you
about
didn't have to
everything.
write a letter this time.
Doesn't have to write a letter this time.
So what do you think of the new job?
It's pretty good, I'm getting a chance to learn all kinds of new things.
That's great. Just make sure to stay out of trouble there.
I wish I had a stat. You know what? Let me look at something.
I'm really craving cereal, but I don't want to go get any.
You don't have to, just get your roommate to do it.
But he's not here.
Then call in an order to the grocery store.
What's the big deal? Just take a stroll around the block and pick some up.
It's not that easy, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Well, what about a delivery service? That could work.
I guess I'll give it a shot. Who knows, maybe I'll find something else besides cereal too. Like a new pet fish or something.
Now, that's something worth going for. We could rename him Cereal if it makes you happy.
Just
Could be
not winning
Larry Jr.
hands. High call rate, not winning hands, dealing in. Almost always dealing into open hands.
Hey everybody! So, I'm from the Midwest and it's been a long time since I've been in this city. But let me tell you, there's something about the energy here that is so unique. I mean, it's like everyone is always looking for something new and exciting. And that makes me want to try something new too. So, I was thinking of starting a new business. Something that no one has ever done before. I'm gonna start a petting zoo that only has cats. That's right, it's gonna be like a regular petting zoo but with just cats. Now why cats? Well, because cats are so cool and independent. They don't really need us humans and they know it. Plus, cats are always getting in trouble and they have so many unique personalities. I figure it's the perfect combination for a new and exciting petting zoo experience. So, what do you think? Should I open up the world's first cat petting zoo? I'm waiting to hear what you all think. Let me know in the comments. Alright, thanks for your input everyone. Now who's ready to laugh? So, I'm thinking of buying an electric scooter. What do you think, Fred?
That's a great idea. It'll save you money on gas.
Yeah, but I'm worried about not being able to make it up hills.
Well, have you considered a hybrid scooter? That way you get the benefits of both an electric and gas motor. Plus, you have the added bonus of never having to worry about a flat tire again.
Yeah, that's a great idea. What do you say, Larry? It could be your next new adventure.
And the possibilities are endless.
Plus, think of all the fun you can have zipping around town.
I can't believe the things I'm hearing.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, but this?
What can I tell you?
Unbelievable.
This is the kind of conversation that you don't hear too often. Fred, what do you make of all this? Fred, what do you make of all this?
ちょっとだけなら頭を
It's
触
like
ら
a
せて
comedy
やるぞ
routine. We could be on
そうそう
stage
も
right
うちょ
now.
っと左
All of this is pretty funny, if you think about it.
I think the audience would love it. Let's do a show.
Sounds like a plan.
So, I heard the funniest thing the other day. Have you heard about this new invention that turns an old lamp into a robot? How crazy is that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. But what I heard was even crazier. Apparently, they have a new type of glue that you can use to repair almost anything.
Wow, even more amazing. That's an incredible advance in technology. I bet even the most mundane task can be done with no problem now.
Yeah, and you can stick stuff together without having to use nails or pins. Talk about a time saver. What other inventions do you think will be created soon?
Who knows? Maybe we'll have shoes that can power a light bulb or solar-powered vacuum cleaners?
Hey, you know what I heard yesterday?
いけにゃい
What?
ドラ猫が
Something strange and unexpected?
Yeah, apparently the shop down the street is giving away free bananas.
That doesn't sound right.
I know, but I swear it's true.
I guess stranger things have happened. Hey, speaking of strange things, did you hear about that new restaurant opening up across town?
The new
Yeah,
restaurant.
I heard it was going to be an all-vegan place.
They must have some guts to open a place like that.
They definitely do. I guess it's a sign of the times.
Can we not get third or fourth every match? Is that going to be allowed? We're already 3-10 on it, so I'm not even going to bother keeping it. Still 2 away. Not finding anything good. Falling 2, 3, 4. Got like a 6 or something here? No. So they're flushing. Cool. Not there. Could have at least heard of more than that.
Hey, did you hear the news?
What news? I haven't heard anything.
The ice cream shop just had their grand opening today.
That's great. I can't wait to try it out.
You know, I think the owner might have been the same one from when we were kids.
That's so wild. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they've done with the place. I'm sure it's a lot nicer now.
We could even see if they have any of the same flavors.
Yeah, that would be cool. Let's go check it out. Hey everyone! So, I heard a lot of people talking about how 2020 has been the worst year ever. But I don't know if I agree with that. It could actually be the best year yet. Laughs. I mean,
Laughs.
think about it. We've been able to stay at home and work from there. That's pretty amazing. Plus the number of Netflix shows we've watched in record time has skyrocketed. Laughs. And don't even get me started on the video game releases this year. We have all the time in the world to beat them. Laughs. Speaking of which, a few weeks ago I tried to beat my video game high score but ended up breaking my controller in frustration. My wife wasn't too happy about that. Laughs.
Wow.
But hey, you know what they... Laughs.
To throw the ones. Just the ones.
I heard that the baker is using a new type of flour.
Really? What kind of flour is it? You don't suppose it's some kind of gluten-free flour, do you? I heard they're all the rage these days.
Well, I don't know what type it is, but it certainly looks like a gluten-free flour to me.
Wow, that's interesting. I wonder what kind of baked goods he'll be able to create with it.
Well, I suppose we won't know until he starts baking with it. It could be something really revolutionary. Either that, or a complete disaster.
Ah, you never know until you try.
Suppose we try
That's
the
true.
corner?
We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Amazing, you never know what surprises life might bring.
I need a couple more safe tiles here.
So then I told her, she can take a rain check for the date.
Oh, there's
That was
no sevens left, so the
I
8's
know,
safer.
nothing escapes my wit.
Ah, but how'd she react?
She wasn't too impressed.
Oh man,
Okay, we're
that's
out
gotta
of this
hurt.
hand.
Well, it's back to the drawing board for me.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
Hey, why don't you come to my comedy show tonight? I'm sure that'll make her laugh. Yeah, I'm doing a set at the local comedy club.
Wow.
I
So we
mean,
were just straight screwed.
All
They had
right,
an
let's get
expensive
this
hand,
show
too.
on the
That
road.
was 40 foo. 40 food door reach 6K or so.
So what's up, everyone?
Oh, just kicking it.
Just kicking it.
Hey, I ran into this guy yesterday and he said something really weird. Do you ever feel like everyone around you is moving in slow motion and you're the only one going at regular speed?
That's classic.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean.
Totally.
I'm more concerned about why this guy has nothing better to talk about. Sounds like somebody's been watching too much TV.
I know, right?
But in any case, I'm sure we can come up with something funnier.
Finding a door right here would be nice. In fact, I'm gonna cut the pinch
Like a
on.
joke about how slow the rest of us are compared to Yvonne.
I'm in. What do you call a turtle crossing the street?
Is that it? What do you call a turtle crossing the street? And that's all you get. Wow, it doesn't even have a door.
I can't believe I'm going to be late for work again this week.
Huh.
Late? What time do you have to be there?
9 o'clock.
This hand is really dangerous.
You're going to be late no matter what you do.
I know, right? It's like I'm cursed.
Wow. Screw this
Hey,
hand.
maybe you can help me out.
Sure, what can I do?
Just let them fight.
You know,
don't.
I could think of a few zany
No.
schemes that could get you there on time.
Oh wow, Ipatsu Kings,
Like,
man.
maybe find a way to travel faster than the speed of light. I don't think that's going to work.
Holy crap.
No,
Like, what is
probably not too
happening?
well. Maybe something with a hot air balloon.
I don't know.
So, Fred, you're never going to believe what happened last night. I was at this exclusive restaurant and the waiter brought out one of their signature dishes.
What was it, Larry? Some sort of fancy steak or something? No, it was a giant bowl of ice cream.
That's right. I was so shocked that everyone around me started laughing. I had to just shrug it off and pretend I was expecting it. So, what about you? Anything funny happened yesterday? You know, I went to the park and there was a squirrel playing the trumpet.
You've got to be kidding me. What kind of squirrel plays a trumpet?
What kind of squirrel plays a trumpet?
So I hear you got a
Really,
new job,
dude?
Larry.
Now, are you really gonna be
Yeah,
dealt that
I'm working as a
Daisangan or
bartender at the
whatever?
Laugh
Is
Factory.
this really happening? Laugh
Wow,
Factory.
that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but try explaining that one to my parents. They were hoping I would go into accounting.
Accounting? Yuck.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you should be doing with your life.
Why do they like
Yeah,
accounting
you should
so
definitely
much?
take the job at the Laugh Factory.
I know, but I don't want to disappoint my parents. What do you guys think I should do?
I think you should do what makes you happy. There's no point in doing something just because it's what other people want.
I agree. As long as you're passionate about it and can make an honest living, that's all that matters in the end. Besides, if the Laugh Factory doesn't work out, you could always go back to accounting.
Let's go
That way
back
you'll
to
have
accounting.
something to fall back on.
Like I can't throw this Tatsu.
Yeah, but then you'll never truly be happy.
This hand is real
I
screwed
think
up.
it's best to pursue a career that you're
screwed up hand.
passionate about and which makes you happy.
I don't want to give up, but we're one away. Like, if we were to get a call here, and I just need to know this dragon situation is safe, then I'm less concerned. Man, this guy is,
Hi there! So I've been walking around this city for the past few days, and man, let me tell you, some of the people here are really strange. Like, the other day on my way to work, I passed this guy who was talking to himself while jogging. It's like he doesn't even know that it's weird. So then yesterday, I'm waiting in line at the store, and this woman cuts in line right in front of me. And she turns around to give me this awful look and says, "I have somewhere to be." Like that's an excuse. And then this morning, I'm walking down the street and this woman stops me to ask if I have any change. So I look in my pocket and all that comes out is a lollipop.
Tsumo.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks. But it's all good. That's why I'm here. So let me tell you a joke.
11-7.
What do you call someone who never goes to the movies? A stay-at-home viewer. Alright, thanks everyone. Have a great night. Clapping and cheering.
Wow.
Appreciate it. Alright, that's it for me. Have a great night, everybody. Leaves the stage to more cheers.
You know, I was thinking of getting a job at that new comedy club down the street.
Why are they in comedy clubs so much?
What do you think,
I swear these
Fred?
people are cheating. Oh, where's my headset
I don't
again?
know, I'm not sure if it's worth it. But then again, you never know what kind of surprises you might encounter.
Wrong?
Maybe you could
Oh,
try
wait,
it out
this is
for a
the
few
guy in
days
last.
and see how it goes.
Well, we're
I'm
just
sure you'll have
screwed
plenty
now.
of laughs along the way.
That's a great idea. I'll give it a shot and let you know how it goes. Who knows, maybe I could end up writing my own stand-up act.
Whoa, sounds like you're already one step ahead of the game. I'm sure you'll be a comedy sensation in no time.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for the advice, Fred.
Anytime, buddy, happy to help.
Alright, I'm off to tackle this comedy gig. Wish me luck.
Break a leg, cackler.
Thanks, I'll see you around. Later, Fred.
We could
be last after this. None of these hands have any value.
So Larry, what did you do this weekend?
I spent the whole time organizing my apartment. I think it looks great now. What about you, Yvonne?
Me too.
Wow.
I rearranged all my furniture and hung up a few new pictures.
Wow, you guys are quite the homebuddies. That sounds like a lot of work. On my end, I went to the park and a few museums. It was really nice to get out of the city for a bit.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life. I'm sure you had some pretty funny experiences along the way too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm getting a hand out of this.
There were some really awkward moments with people I met at the museums that had me laughing afterwards.
You can always count on something unexpected happening when you're out of your comfort zone.
Oh, I'm so excited about tonight.
What's happening tonight? I hope it's something fun.
I'm not sure. I just know something's going on.
You guys won't believe it, I'm going to try stand-up comedy for the first time and I'm so nervous.
Wow, That's incredible.
Well,
You will do
you get
great.
to the end of the hand.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I've been wanting to try that for years.
脳天だわ。
Well, why don't you join me? That way I won't be so nervous.
Leading on a 7, and
What
now
a
we're
great
last.
idea. We can be a double act and make it even more fun.
That sounds perfect. We'll be unstoppable.
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Alright, let's do it.
I have no idea what my Thunderbolt notification went on. I have no idea. Nothing's connected to it. Do.
So did you hear the new gossip?
What gossip?
So apparently there's a new sandwich shop in town.
Really? Wow, I can't wait to try it out. Who told you about it?
I heard it from a customer at my car dealership. He said it has the best sandwiches in town.
That's great. Let's go check it out. I'm starving.
What about those 2-for-1 coupons I got from my dry cleaner?
Perfect. Let's go use those and get lunch. We better hurry before they run out of sandwiches.
I'm just gonna take a break after this. We can't win again. We literally can't win.
You know it. Let's go.
What am I calling them for? What do I care?
Hi everyone, so I just moved here recently and have been trying to get settled in. Let's see, I walked into the grocery store yesterday and one of the cashiers asked me if I wanted paper or plastic. So I thought about it for a few seconds and then said, doesn't matter, I'm bisexual.
悪いね。
That was a joke, of course. But seriously,
What?
it's been kind of tough to adjust to my new home and make friends. So if any of you out there wants to grab coffee or something, let me know.
Sure.
Oh, and I should mention that I'm a vegan.
Oh,
I
good to
like
know.
anything plant-based though, so if any of you know any really amazing vegan restaurants or recipes, let me know. One thing I have noticed is that people here can be a bit, how do I put it, stubborn.
ポン
Let me tell you a
it's
story.
taking too long.
So I was at the store last week and there were two
kinda
people
lame,
in line in
but-
front of me. They had a disagreement about which item to buy
No.
until one of them said,
Itadaki.
just buy both.
Cheap,
We
but
can sort it out later.
ドラ
That's what you
it's just
call
the
a
hand we were
compromise.
dealt. Take the
people.
points. Just take the points. We get a
Anyway,
stick out of it too.
that's
we
all
get
I
our
got for
big
now.
guy stick.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Leaves the stage to applause. Thanks everyone. Have a great night.
Can we at least get a win? Can we get back on track here? Can we just like... No, I'm just gonna ask for not last. Not last. Oh, Trevor Lawrence is about to give up a safety. Oh, and he
after I
gave up
left
pick
last
6.
Anything exciting?
Disaster.
Actually, yeah. I went to an off-Broadway show that my friend was in.
How was it?
It was surprisingly good. I mean, for off-Broadway. After the show, a few of us went to an outdoor barbecue and then to a karaoke bar.
That sounds like a wild night. Did you sing?
I did. I sang Sweet Home Alabama. It was a hit.
Hmm.
How about you? What did you do after we parted ways last night?
Oh,
Shunted.
not much.
We probably reached
I
this
went
even
home
if
and
it's
rewatched The Office.
terrible.
Now that's a show.
Now that's a show.
How about I join you next time? That sounds like more fun than sitting at home.
That would be awesome. I'll let you know when the next show is.
I'm already looking forward to it.
So I heard that the new guy at work is related to the owner. What a weird thing to do, take on someone related to you as an employee.
What a weird thing to do.
I
No one
mean,
ever
why
does
not
that.
just do the work yourself?
Just do the
It's
work
about
yourself.
keeping in the family, especially if he's a distant relative. Besides, it could make everyone more comfortable since they know each other so well. Did you know this relative before
Oh
he
my
started
God.
working there?
No,
I don't know why I
didn't
threw
even
that
know he was
6.
related to the guy until recently.
Definitely would have been
It's
ready to
definitely a
go.
strange situation.
Well, I think
I
it's
think
cool that
I
the guy is
screwed
trying to
myself
keep
over
things in
there.
the family. It's a nice gesture, don't you think?
8.
It's not always easy to find good help, so it could be worth it in the end.
Cut her off. Sir Reach.
Reach.
It's no Pinfu, but I do have 2 concealed triplets. Those aren't really worth that much because they're. I think it gets us to 40 Fu though.
リーチ
On a roll. Of course. I love it. I love to reach and immediately be chased every time. Jade Room. I should just play the rest before I lose rating more. We should just switch to Jade Room. Oh!
Down.
Oh
Itadaki.
boy. Well, we got Toyman's stick. I have it on a list. Let me remind myself what list it's on. Because there's a bunch sort of like that. I think it has issues. Spells. I think it was that. Well, all the reviews on Steam. A lot of crashing. Well, one person saying it crashes. Let's just throw the door away.
ちゃん。悪いね。
Shockingly, this game has only one mode, scripted campaign. We're gonna go for the flush. But every time you're walking a single
I'll have
player...
a glass of wine,
Yes, sir.
the rabbi says. I'll have an ale, and the imam says, just water for me. The bartender then turns to the imam and says, is that because you're not
Close.
supposed to drink? And the imam looks at him and says, no,
Every
it's
time you're
because I'm
walking
driving.
a single player SRPG
All right,
campaign
thanks for
with
the
heavy
laugh, everyone.
guardrails and very arbitrary
All right, here's one more joke.
scripting.
A bear walks
There's
into
very
a
little
bar and says to the
customization
bartender,
option for
"Do you
your
have
wizard.
any
You always
money?"
start with access to the same menu, so to be clear, other than picking the world type, 5 options if I recall correctly, and a difficulty, plus your wizard. There are no
Hey,
options to configure.
why don't we go to the movies tonight?
There are no options to configure a
Wow,
game. You can't
I
select the
didn't know
number
you
of
had such an
enemies, size of
interesting
map, or
suggestion.
anything. As a diehard fan of 4X style games, with shocking disappointment. This is an EA title with other modes expected. One might be inclined to
bound to be
forgive a
more
suggestion,
exciting
wait and
than the
see attitude,
usual.
but as it stands,
Well,
they do not
the
give it a
last
good
time I went to the
review.
movies was a disaster. My seat was broken and the sound kept cutting out.
Yeah, I think this one was a wait on the demo, or like I'd have to check it out more before I was like I'm totally gung ho about it.
But that was months ago.
Well, that just happened.
I'm sure this time will be different. Plus, it'll
Guess I
give us
should've
something
conned
to
it.
do after work.
Wow,
Alright,
not allowed,
I'm in.
man. I'm literally not
But we should
allowed.
bring snacks just in
解釈
case.
同順ドラ猫
I mean, come
What kind
on.
of snacks do you want?
Well,
How do you just
what
get
about
dealt
some popcorn
that?
and chocolate bars? That sounds like a tasty combination.
Wow.
How about some candy and soda too? We can
Some
bring enough for
chocolate
the
after
whole
the
theater
stream.
if we want.
Not bad, not good. It was basically one big map with many starting locations that have particularly challenging zones, more like the lack of stuff to be challenging. It has a somewhat of Heroes of Might and Magic feel, but for me personally it falls short. You're encouraged to move from place to place to get access to resources that
Hey,
decay
what
over
did you
time.
think of the
This
latest
forces
episode of
you
House
to
Hunters?
a blatant grind in order to grow
I
in
thought it was
power.
really unexpected and funny.
What am I doing with this hand?
You know what I
Look at
think is
this.
funny? Going to the grocery
It
store
feels
and
like a
having to
huge part of the
compare
game is a
prices on
resource
all the
dump. You run
different
around the map
brands.
doing quest events,
That's a
random
good
encounters,
one.
or jumping around on unintended
Larry,
resources,
what
all while
about
the
you?
game throws stuff at you to limit said resources.
I think the funniest
Scripted
thing
stacks,
ever is
minions
when
that have
someone
ridiculous
says something
resistances,
completely
making you
opposite
question
of
your
what you thought they were going to
composition.
say. That always gets me good.
Some
Yeah,
floor
me
flavor
too.
circle mage wannabe armies,
reminds
hidden
me of the
locations
time I asked
from
my friend for a
events
raise,
meant to
and he
grind
said
your army
no.
for measly rewards, you name it. Overall,
That's
it
hilarious.
looks like a game that is nice to have, but nothing fantastic.
I also
Move
find
along.
it funny when people
Yeah, that
wear
was sort of
shoes
the
that don't
impression
match
from
their
some of the
outfit.
other reviews that I read.
It's like why bother putting something
this
together
guy.
if you're just going to ruin it with mismatched shoes?
That's true. And it always cracks me up when I see a really big person in an outfit that doesn't fit them right. It's like, why don't they just get something that fits?
Yeah.
That always gets me too. You
Songs
just
of
have to laugh at the
Conquest I
irony of
have
it
in my
all.
library, and I've been looking to actually sit down and play it. We're in South too. We gotta pay attention. Oh boy.
So I heard you met a girl the other day.
I really can't call or do anything. I'm just stuck here. Throw away the ones?
That's right. She was really nice and had the biggest blue eyes I've ever seen. I can't believe I was so brazen and asked her out.
What's happening?
Did I tell you that she's from out of town?
This long
That made the whole
tauntaun-
experience even more
tauntaun.
adventurous. What's your take on all this? It all seems too good to be true.
Oh, my hand feels really
I
far.
know
I guess we
what
go
you mean.
5 or a 3,
It's
and
like
then we're
something
kind of
out of a
playing, but I
movie.
probably never...
It sounds like you're really
Wow,
taking a
dude.
chance on fate. But if it makes you happy, why not give it a shot? Life is too short to let opportunities pass by.
Naturally hits the leader. Cheap though, very cheap.
Who knows, maybe she's the one for you. Either way, I'm sure it'll make for a great story. That's the beauty of taking risks, you never know what could happen.
You never know.
Let's see where this goes.
Hey Fred, don't forget you have a meeting with the boss tomorrow. You better show up with all your ducks in a row.
What do you mean ducks in a row?
I mean, make sure you have all the facts and figures ready to go. Be organized and prepared so you can show your confidence.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Hey, it's your career we're talking about. What better way to prove you can handle the job than by being prepared? I'm sure your presentation will knock the boss's socks off.
That might be a tall order. But I'll give it my best shot.
リーチにゃ
Hey Larry, how about you and Yvonne go on a double date with me and my new girlfriend?
What new girlfriend?
I hope
Yeah,
it's not a...
I thought you had sworn off women. What
I
changed
need,
your
I
mind?
need something here.
Well, I figured why not give it another shot, you never know what might happen.
I need someone to
I
like
guess that's
throw
true.
something that'd be pawnable to me. I need some
Yeah,
safe tiles.
but who is this mystery woman?
Of course. Not getting
Just
that.
wait and see, it's gonna be a surprise.
What, Eiko?
I
No.
promise you two won't be disappointed.
Thank you.
We'll see about that.
Women can deal in for me. Alright, it's
Wow,
five,
did you
five
see
now,
that guy
likely
walk
save.
by?
Yeah, he had the same haircut as mine.
I think he
Oh,
was
you were
wearing the same
chasing?
shirt too.
Why don't you go ask him if he can borrow yours?
What would be the point?
But I didn't play.
Well,
We had
then
nothing,
you both have the
so-
same haircut and shirt.
リーチつも
And if
Oh my
someone mistook
goodness.
one
And
for the
finds
other,
an aura.
you could use that to your advantage.
Makes their
bet you
52
could
into
get
an
it to do all
8,000
kinds of
because
stuff for you.
Pinfu has
He could be
no
your very own human clone.
Pinfu's only 20 fu for Hans. It's only 5,200.
That is surprisingly
Right.
tempting, if a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would work in practice. But it's worth a shot if you're feeling adventurous.
We're just not winning any hands or anything. It's really just rough. We won one hand in this for 2,000. I guess we throw these away. Yeah. Yeah, he'll do. I don't know. I don't know. Like games like that, I wait for a sale. Maybe check it out. The problem is I have like original Might and Magic, and I could just play that. Like, I have like the whole series. It's like, but as long as the Conquest is, I think, kind of that 4X fantasy style, and that one. Oh, what are we doing here? Let's throw this away.
Hey Fred, did you hear about Larry's new act?
No, what did he come up with this time?
He's decided to put a spin on the traditional stand-up comedy by doing it while juggling.
That's ridiculous. Larry can barely walk and chew gum at
I
the
just
same
look for the
time,
negative
much
reviews
less
and
juggle
then
while
judge
doing
from that.
stand-up comedy.
What I'm happy with.
That's the beauty of it. I'm going to be giving comedic juggling a try.
Now that's what I call comedic genius.
I still think it's
So
ridiculous.
you can live with those negative reviews, but it just kind of sounds
Hey,
like
you never know until you
like,
try.
Alright, I guess
if
we'll
you've never
just have to
played
wait
Age
and
of
see.
Wonders Shadow Magic,
That's
what's
right.
known as Age
Don't
of
forget to
Wonders
come by
2
and
with
watch
all
my
the
act.
expansions, that game's really good,
I'm
and you
sure it will
probably
be
like
hilarious.
it. If you're looking for something different. Furryton.
That's the plan.
It's not Pinku. Yeah, we still go. We still go. Sucks. Sucks we furrytoned ourselves. We drew a better weight, and we would have just straight won. I don't know, maybe we can...
So
Oh,
Larry,
no,
what did you do
dude.
last
It's
weekend?
happening.
Did you do anything interesting?
We have to sumo the
As a
tile
matter of
somehow.
fact, I did.
We should have just
I
stayed
went and
furryton.
saw this improv show that was absolutely hilarious.
Like, what was the point of reaching this exactly?
It was a group of 10 friends who got up on stage and just started making jokes. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. After the show, I got to talk to one of the comedians
Oh
and he
my
gave me
God.
a few tips on how to write better jokes.
Oh boy.
I'm definitely looking forward to trying out what I learned at Open
Wrong?
Mic Night in a few weeks.
I don't have
What
any
about
tiles
you?
left. I
What
think
did you
I'm
get on the
actually out of
weekend?
tiles. There's
Well,
one 9
I went
left.
to this
Oh,
new
we're dead.
restaurant that opened up in town. and it
Fuck
was really
you! God damn it! I don't know why I reached. Oh man, he found 7 pairs?
I had
Oh
this
my
amazing
god.
avocado toast, and then for dessert, I tried out the homemade ice
I should
cream.
just play Jade Room
It
until
was
my eyes
delicious.
bleed. Lose rank, get it
After
back.
that,
Because
I
now
went
we're
to this
actually
art
going to be
exhibit
below
with a
where
friend, and it was really
where you start.
interesting.
So I know I can just
The
go back
artist had some
to
really unique
Expert 3 and
pieces.
easily get the points back. Because you don't lose nearly as many points. Oh,
That sounds
piss
like
off.
a great weekend.
You
Maybe
a new
we should
account?
plan something
Yep, you're a
together
new
next
account.
time.
So you're a duper,
Definitely,
so go
that
away.
would be fun.
Not supposed to have multiple accounts. They put out a bulletin about it. So we're in
Hi,
South
everyone.
4.
It's
What
so
do we
great
even
to
do
be
here?
So, did anyone remember to
We have
pick
to
up
find a
milk
door
on the
to
way
that.
home from work today? Anybody?
We have 4, 5, 6.
Alright, forget about milk then. How about
Forget
this?
about the milk.
I heard the other day that if you eat an entire quarter pound of broccoli, it equals the same amount of vitamins as eating a cup of orange juice.
Okay, there's a door. It's
I
on.
asked my friend about it and he said, yeah, I guess if you're a cow. Anyone else heard this one? Anyway, I also heard that the average person spends 3 weeks of their life waiting for the traffic light to turn green. That's a long time. Alright, well I hope you're all having a great night. Thanks for listening. Until next time, take care everyone. Bye!
Bye.
Hey, did you guys hear about the new cafe that opened up in town?
I need
It's
another
supposed
Dora.
to be really great.
So we're gonna play for another
Really?
Dora.
What kind of cafe is it?
I hear it's a fusion cafe. They have all kinds of different cuisine from around the world.
Wow, that sounds really interesting.
I can't.
I'd love to check it out sometime.
We're just gonna start. I'll probably play offline some Jade Room, tank the rating, and just get back to
Hey,
even
why
the
don't
other
we all
way.
go there after work?
We're gonna cut and just go
It'll
for
be
Toy
fun.
Toy.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Because if we cut for Toy
Let's do
Toy,
it.
then we can. Oh,
Yeah,
there's a stick
it'll be a
now in
great
it
way
too.
to end the day.
But we just push.
Alright,
push.
it's settled then. Let's make a
No-
plan
no
to
other
meet at the
choice
cafe
but to
later
push.
tonight.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
That's a great idea. I'm looking forward to trying out some of the food there later.
ドラちゃん悪いね。ポン
Why didn't
Have
you
to
tell
try.
me
It's
your
probably
mom was
dealing.
coming over?
No.
I didn't realize it was going to be such a big deal.
Of course it's a big deal. She always gets mad at me for no reason. I don't know why she hates me so much. What did I ever do to her?
So we're pretty much
It's
just in
probably
this
just
to the
because
end.
you're so
Nothing else
different.
to do here.
She's very traditional, and you can be a bit of a wild card at times.
Here's the wild
Plus,
card.
she's always been a bit intimidated by how smart and quick-witted you are. Personally, I think she secretly admires you for it.
Yes.
She just doesn't know how to express it. But hey, try to
I
remember
finally
that she's
steal
been
one!
looking out for both of us in her own way.
Stolen.
Yeah, maybe. I guess that makes
Stolen.
sense.
Thanks for
At
the
least it's not as
stick.
bad as when Uncle Leo came to visit last time.
Yes.
That was a disaster.
天下無
Thank
双
God. That was a 200-point swing. Oh, I'm not your toy. Okay, Shawn Michaels. I'm just a sexy boy.
Hi everyone.
Look,
How's
we have
everyone
this
doing
quest
tonight? I'm Larry,
for
and I'm here to make you
sumo.
laugh.
We've gotten 0 of them. 0, actual 0. Wow.
So I have a joke. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
Wow.
Haha. I hope you like that one.
I did.
Alright, so what did the fish say when he hit his head? Ouch!
it's ouch now, not damn.
That one's a classic.
It's a classic.
Alright, so what do bees use to get around? A buzz car.
What?
Hey Fred, can you believe it's already Friday?
Yeah, the week sped by like a freight train. Now what are we going to do this weekend? I know I'd like to see a movie, what do you think? Maybe one of those new action flicks they've been talking about.
That's not quite my style. How about something a bit less intense? Maybe a comedy?
I'm gonna go make lunch. It's a late
We
lunch.
could see
I
the
think
new
it's
one
lunchtime.
everyone's been talking about. I heard it's hilarious.
That does sound like a great idea.
So how
Let's
much
do it.
rating did we lose in this session? Where did we start? Let's look at it this way. Not last night. So plus 50, minus
So I went to see the
150,
doctor, and he said I'm totally
minus
healthy.
350. So we lost
Except
300
for one
rating in
thing.
this session.
What's that?
Is there an exclamation point?
Yeah, what
Oh,
is
they
it?
put up a new one of these.
Come on, Larry, don't keep us in suspense. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone.
Did Yogi
Except
start
for maybe
streaming?
Oldman.
Yogi
Okay,
is streaming.
He said I'm
Oh
a little
no,
deficient
big
in my
20
vitamin D.
seed. Dragon Warrior.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what?
Dragon
I'm
Warrior
actually taking
Rando.
vitamin D supplements now.
Well, Yogi, we gotta go. We
You
gotta
should
see
join me.
this.
We could do a vitamin D challenge. The first one to reach the recommended daily allowance wins.
Why does she want vitamin D so
What
hard?
do you say?
I'm in. Let the competition begin.
You two better watch out. I'm not one to be trifled with.
But in a moment here, let's go. When this one finishes, we'll raid Yogi. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Hey Larry, did you